Well, it's never easy, huh? Your Yankees win 8-4. The score really didn't do it justice. If you actually watched this game, you were sweating the whole time. You just were. It's honestly insane at this point, Jake. I know you were covering this. It was a solo show. I thought you did a great job.
Thanks,
talking
man.
about Brian Walsh and also still leaving enough room to criticize Aaron Boone in last night's 8-7 loss, right? You were talking about bringing Devin Williams in there. I thought both sides deserved blame, and you did a really nice job there. And you'd think that there's just no possible way that Brian Walsh would be able to outdo himself from yesterday's game. And I'd certainly say, being the home plate umpire yesterday, he definitely didn't have an ability to have as much impact, but those stooges behind the plate, first base side, and I want to make sure I get this group correct, because again, knowing their names is a bad thing. We don't want to know who the umpires are.
I love that you said that.
Now, home plate umpire Adrian Johnson, dismal. Actually bad for both sides tonight. Horrible, right? And you were covering the fact there were 21 missed calls yesterday, and I believe it was 16 or 17 of which were going against the Yankees. It was really bad. Adrian Johnson was terrible for both sides. Missed calls everywhere, left and right. Paul Clemens, he manned the first base line. Ramon De Jesus behind second. And then, of course, Humpty Dumpty over there at first base. Really, just really bad. And so at this point now, we're going to expand on that later. We want to make sure you know we're going to talk about the umpires. But I want to talk about the positive first, Jake. Ryan McMahon. You text me right away when you saw this. And it's a surprise to us, right, to see a 3-hit day. And we're not going to sit here and now clamor for why he's here or any of that stuff. We're simply rooting for the guys in the locker room and what they do. Ryan McMahon, if he doesn't play for the Yankees today, we don't win this game. He was really good. Huge homer. He obviously had the catch at third base that the umpires missed. I don't even know whether or not it's even in good faith. I can't tell. Trent Grisham, easily the biggest home run of the night. His 30th of the season. It's a grand slam. And we're going to have another conversation about Trent Grisham, because the more I watch this player, the more it feels to me that we'd be ludicrous to look at our young talent, and maybe not a Spencer Jones because he's at the top of everyone's board. But what does this mean for Jason Dominguez on this roster? It seems a lot to me, Jake, that the answer is if you re-sign a Cody Bellinger, you throw him over to first base. Now you open it up at another spot in the outfield. You bring back a Grisham. You bring in a Spencer Jones. You've already got Judge. It seems like that's our answer. We'll talk about that in depth, but it seems like letting him go just seems dumb. So Rodon, 6 full innings. I have no idea, Jake, what we would have done if he didn't go length in this start. If he didn't go 6 full, could you imagine where those outs would have come from? I didn't even want to see what that game would have looked like. 3 hits. Astros put the ball in play. You got to give him credit. 2 runs, one of which were earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Weaver, we'll talk about him. He's been dismal. Not good. That was not a good outing for him at all. And then, of course, some dessert there, which was nice, was that Cruz was awesome. And we're starting to get a lot more comfortable with him on the mound. He's clearly comfortable. And then Jake, the part that we somewhat disagreed on how they used it, right, was the choice to go to Bednar. And it was a 8-3 game to start the 9th inning. And I certainly can see where you're coming from, but I felt like the Yankees just haven't done enough in the clutch to possibly do what would be thinking about tomorrow's game in Toronto, against Toronto at Yankee Stadium. I just think the Yankees in general have been bad enough late in games. They're forced to pitch their best no matter the score. So again, guys, if you're just joining Yankees Unloaded, please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Jake, how are we feeling? Because that game, I don't know how we have any hair left. This team is just nuts.
Well, I mean, you can see it's thin and
it's trying.
It's trying to go away. No, appreciate all the nice things that you had to say about yesterday, Gary. Obviously, I like doing solo shows. I've been doing them for a long time, but I much rather would do a show with somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about. And you, my friend, know what you're talking about. What was the thing you said to me today? What I said about Josh Allen being the MVP? You go, ball?
Oh, yeah, I'd probably get in trouble for that meme.
I know.
Well, whatever.
It is what it is. Anybody that wants to complain about the meme, whatever. But hey, you know ball, and obviously I love doing this show with you. And I'll just say this right now, man. I am so freaking tired of umpires. But this series, I actually, when people say their blood is boiling, that was me. Like I'm finding it's so hard not to just crash out over this. Like Brian Walsh should be Thanos snapped out of existence. He's a waste of molecules. He is an abomination to society. I never want to see that dude's face ever again.
Hard to believe it's in good faith. Like he's actually trying to make the right calls and it's just human error. But as much human error that just so happens to be going against one side of the field, you almost feel gross. Calling for the integrity, like something's wrong. Like even saying, oh, these games may be rigged or controlled in some type of way, it feels off offering that take. But if you'd watched this series, like you watched all 27 innings, it was a disgusting job by the entire crew, not just Walsh.
I know.
Very hard
awful.
to even, how could you even argue that you guys were even attempting
Did you see
to
the
do the right thing here?
Mark tagged me in. Did I send that to you?
No, you did not. I think my favorite part about today's umpiring was when the Yankees obviously knew that Taylor Trammell had a bat that looks illegal. Everything about it didn't look right. And the crew just all gets together and they go, It looked like the episode out of The Office where he's like, let me look at the fax machine. Now let me see the chairs. It's like, make a call or not. And you know what they did instead? They slap a sticker on it, essentially authenticating the bat, because there were people saying, why'd they put a sticker on it? Are they saying it's all good to go? No. What they were doing is they're putting the sticker on the bat to authenticate this is absolutely the bat, and we're going to send it away. So just in case this is proven to be illegal, Trammell can't say, no, that wasn't my bat. That's a phony. No, they took care of it with the sticker. So still did nothing about it, didn't affect the game, but I don't know what they were doing.
All right. I got a perfect comparison to this moment. Immediately when I saw the sticker come out, I thought about the index card on Monday Night Football. Do you remember that? I think it was the Cowboys-Eagles?
The index card?
Gene Steratore took out an index card.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. He's like, look, only an index card can fit in there. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Where did that come from? Why is that even a thing? No, today that ruling was absolutely absurd. And I actually want to make a claim here. I want to make a claim.
Go ahead.
Them doing that only hurt Bednar. You're sitting there waiting. He was totally, think about how long that took. And they had said that. It was like the
Super Bowl with the Ravens and 49ers. Remember when the lights went out? It doesn't help. It just
it's
doesn't
like
help.
icing the kicker.
Yeah, I would agree.
You're sitting there and you're just like, hello? And it's not even, come on, man. It wasn't even one of those things where it was like, okay, yeah, there's a lot to digest here. Okay? It really wasn't that crazy. I didn't even care too much about the bat. But I did say it looked very odd. And I love, by the way, I'm going to give a huge shout out to David Cohn.
He was funny today.
He was absolutely amazing tonight. He was amazing. He was as amazing as Michael Kay was on that call, the Grisham home run. I felt like I was in the playoffs.
Yep.
That felt like a playoff moment, But I just love Michael Kay tries to have this objectivity, and I totally understand it. But even he knows it's a little bullshit, where it's like the pitch goes right down the plate, and the umpire calls it a ball, and he's like, and it misses down in a low and away. And then right when he said that, David Cohn's like, no, it doesn't. He's like, no, it didn't. It was right there. That's a strike. And I love it because those guys are having fun doing the game together. But it's just like, man, I like feeling at home that I'm not going crazy. When you see David Cohn, who, by the way, he needs to be impartial because he has a deal with ESPN. He does a bunch of games. So he's not trying to be just biased towards the Yankees, and I don't feel like he is. But it was so unbelievably one-sided, the umpiring this series, that even he was like, all right, yeah, JC, if you say so. Yeah.
If you watch these games, if I told you by the end of it, the Yankees are going to take 2 of 3 and then they're going to go back home to take on Toronto, I'd be really impressed. Did they completely crap the bed in game 2? Yes, absolutely. But having said all this, we told you guys before this series started, remember all the predictions that everyone had in our comment section. We wanted to know exactly what you guys thought. What do you think the Yankees are going to do? And none of you, not one person, said we had to go sweep Houston. Nobody. Not a soul.
No.
We said you guys have got to and I know this is tough sledding. It's hard. You're going to have to go out there and beat Houston. And we mean win 2 of 3. You're going to have to go back to the stadium. You don't have to sweep Toronto. You need to take 2 of 3. You need to win these series, each and every one of them. And if you don't like that and you think it's just asking too much, well, win more games against the bums earlier in the year, right? Beat
Absolutely.
The Colorados more. Beat the St. Louis's. Beat the Twins more often. And if you guys were doing that, as much as we think you guys should have, then we wouldn't have to ask this of you. But now that the series is over, the Yankees technically have done what they had to do. So you got to give him credit. And Joshua, thank you for becoming a Yankees Unloaded member. Jake, do you have the screen up of exactly what member he is? Joshua, welcome in, man.
Yes. So Joshua is, in fact, a second deck member.
Welcome in, Joshua. Really appreciate it. So welcome aboard. And Yankee Fangirl for Life with the 5 will get caught up a little bit here on the Supers. Guys, you guys have been incredible so far. Thank you for the 5. Says, I feel like we can't take a lead safely into the 9th for anything, and it worries me for the next series with Toronto and with Boston. I can't be comfortable. Do you know why that is? It's because you shouldn't be comfortable.
No.
Nothing the Yankees do should bring you any comfort ever. Nothing. If the Yankees were up 6-1 going into the 9th inning of a World Series Game 7, would you feel like, oh, we can relax? We're up 6-1. A 6-1 game, you'd think, oh, well, that game's over. We were uncomfortable bringing our closer, who's objectively a really good pitcher. Jake, you brought up the numbers, and I didn't know this until you brought it up. David Bednar is the hottest reliever in the sport since the break. The best pitcher in the league coming out of a lot of relief, he was that good. The Yankees traded for him, and people said, we want Mason Miller, we want Duran. They traded for the guy who is pitching the best baseball. They get him from Pittsburgh, bring him into an 8-3 game, and Yankee Fangirl for Life wasn't comfortable. Neither was I. Neither was Jake. None of us were comfortable.
No reason to be comfortable.
There's no reason to be comfortable. So, guys, just get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's where we are.
A quote that my grandpa always said, and I live by to this day: be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's so true. It's so true. You can use it in a lot of different ways, but I think when you look at this team, it's just, hey, there's no gimme. I mean, ask Gary. We're talking about titles for the show. We're about to schedule the show. We're already talking, oh, yeah, the Yankees, clearly they're going to win this game. They're up 8-4, 8-3, right? And they just don't make it easy, man. They don't make it easy. So, yeah. You're just going to have to, this is not one of those teams where you can leave early and, try to beat traffic. You need to see it through the end, because I'll tell you, they'll take you for a ride. Unless it's like 12-1, I mean, everything is kind of up in the air. That's what I've learned with this team.
What's the lead gotta be? What's the lead gotta be? I'd probably say, for me, if we're up 6, I feel somewhat confident. If we're up 6 in the 9th inning.
6 is the magic number. 5, no, because guess what? You lead off with a home run you give up, and now you can, bases can get loaded, however, and then one swing ties the game up. 6 is like,
we shouldn't be thinking this way. That goes to show you how difficult this group's made it. they've made it to a situation we saw with Devin Williams earlier this year where you give up a run, bases are loaded, you give up the grand slam, and you're like, wow. You almost start doing the math to how much can we have a lead before the grand slam to win this game. That's where we're at right now. It's pretty sad. Michael McDonald, thank you for the 5. What's more impressive, beating the Astros or beating the umpires? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to give beating both. I'm going to tell you, Houston hasn't been playing the best baseball of late, but I'm going to say this, beating the Astros is far more impressive because baseball is it's a fidgety sport, right? You can have bad calls going your way, going the other way all series, and you can still win a game. But Houston is one of the teams that we had on the calendar. You think the Yankees didn't know that we didn't think they could go in and win this series? We didn't predict them to lose the series, but a lot of folks, there are a lot of people, Willie Downer, for example, who's in our comment section right now. He didn't think we were winning this series in Houston, and I can't blame you. Like I said, I'm not going to try to change anyone's mind. We're going to cover what they do in hindsight. And they went to Houston and beat them 2 of 3, probably should have swept this team. But you leave Houston a winner, and you're going back to Yankee Stadium to play Toronto. This is a win against a contender. So I'm pretty happy about this right now, Jake.
I'm very happy about this, Gary. And I'm going to address this because, Christian, I've seen your comment 7 times over.
Oh, what happened?
Please tell me why Jake is making the Freddie sweater and the gold chain work. I don't know. You tell me.
Been doing it, my man.
It's just, I don't know. It's a fit.
It's in the rotation. It's every probably, I'd say 5 weeks. 5 weeks, it just pops out.
You're right. I think it really is. It's a little bit over a month, and I'm just like, yeah, I think it's about time.
Yeah, he pops it out just in time for NFL season.
Yeah,
just
right.
Has to.
Because, that's just how it is. I just need some finger knives. And
Freddy Krueger. That's hilarious.
Freddy Krueger ain't got shit on you, my guy. Well, I appreciate that. We got some supers. We got 3 members tonight, including, and I just want to cut to the chase here because you don't see this very often, but I am proud to announce that, let's see here. I just want to make sure I saw this. Okay, I did see this right. Chris99, welcome, Diamond level member.
Chris, make sure it's not too late. I don't know if you have yet. Maybe you have because I haven't taken a look at the list yet. If you haven't, you still have time to go drop a voicemail right now, and we'll still get to it at the end of the show. We usually do it at the end. So, Chris, 99, welcome aboard, my man. Thank you.
Yeah. No, we really appreciate it. The diamond level's starting to fill up now. No such thing as filled, right? But, we're starting to get people in there. We are
going to make those emojis, by the way.
Yes.
I read those comments. Very easy to do. We're going to have to, should we design them of some sort? Because I feel like we should, right?
Yeah.
We need some type of design. They need to be small where we can throw it on there so that we can have some distinction between, I don't know, something, right? Between field level, second level, whatever it is. I think it'd be fun. We got to do some cool ones.
No, for sure. And we can just do stuff that's essentially like those inside jokes and stuff that we have on this show. We can have fun with it. You guys can suggest any, and we'll get to work on that. So,
and by the way, wanted to get to this. Yeah, Chris, really appreciate that. Again, we're not talking about between the break and today. We're talking about from the break. You're talking about from the beginning of the season to the break. Bednar was electric. He was pitching the best baseball, and I think it was Jake. I think the numbers you brought up were the last 6 weeks prior to the deadline. Bednar was just pitching the best baseball. Mason Miller right now is a better pitcher. Aroldis Chapman, better pitcher. But Bednar is good in his own right. You saw the curveball today. He was really good. So, Jake, we'll talk about that, the concept of bringing Bednar in, because I know you didn't love it at the time. I don't know if it's grown on you, but at the same time, it's I know you just wanted to win the game. What did you think about that decision? Because to be fair, you didn't love it at the time.
I didn't love it at the time. I'm going to still hold on to it because I don't like changing it up just because it worked out. Or, it worked out because of the result. It still was a little shaky. But
it should have worked out, technically, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is I can kind of understand it because they did it with Luke Weaver the other day where they brought in Luke Weaver, and I didn't really agree with it, but it's like, you know what? You just got to put him in. You're trying to win this game, and I really shouldn't criticize Boone if he's doing things that I've been saying he struggles to do. If he's actually trying to be a better manager, that's when I shouldn't criticize him. When he's trying and he realizes, look, yeah, it might make sense strategically not to go to Bednar here, because then we have him all throughout that series against Toronto. At the same time, he's who I trust. In my circle of trust, he's at the top, and we really need to win this game. And you've already gone through a meltdown yesterday. So I think Boone, I get it. I think Boone saw yesterday, was like, we can't have that happen again. And man, there were times in this game, bad innings. Ben Rice had a tough time today at first base. He really did.
He was brutal.
It was bad. It was one of the worst first base days for Ben Rice of his career. Probably the worst I've seen him ever. And I think he's still a good first baseman. He can play there. Maybe the jury's still out on how good he can be there, but he's never that bad. That was brutal. But yeah, I think that's really what it was, Gary. I mean, you kind of also mentioned that, really you care about today's game instead of focusing on tomorrow. I have a hard time criticizing that.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't earn it to be able to say, oh, we'll throw the garbage time guy out there, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's 8-3. Don't worry about it. And then it's 8-3. Now it's 8-4, 8-5, 8-6. Oh, go ahead and get Bednar warm. And now Bednar's out there, and all our cheeks are clenched. We don't need it. It shouldn't happen. And you know what people would do in hindsight of that? If it just worked out and Bednar didn't have to get warmed up and they win, they wouldn't give Boone any credit for making that choice. But then if they made that choice and it backfired because it's essentially a low leverage pitcher, he gets in trouble, gives up a grand slam, whatever it is, and now Bednar's in high stress situation, they're going to come after Aaron Boone right away. So Aaron Boone just got right out front of it and said, I'm bringing in my best arm, and not one person, nobody, thought that was the wrong choice. It's not as far as what he's doing, but that he's our best arm. Bednar is our best arm out the bullpen. So, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. And Scott Ross, who's been a member for a month, says this umpiring crew needs to face a tribunal. They need something. They need something. Sprinkle holy water on them. I don't know what they need.
I don't know, man. They need a lot. A brain that would probably help. I mean, we won't spend too much time on it. We've been talking about it for a while, but Brian Walsh is the worst umpire I've ever seen.
Alex Reyes says with the 2, he's been marked safe from Brian Walsh. The white flag. Yeah, we all have. So let's just take solace in the fact the Yankees didn't let this series get away from them. And by the way, if you missed this game, Jazz Chisholm did leave this game early. Caballero came in the game to replace him, I believe from a Jose Altuve slide that left him with a contusion on both knees. So 2 separate plays actually is where that happened. He played through the first one, and then the second contusion took him out of the game. So we have no idea if Jazz, they haven't given us any type of update, or maybe in the post game they did, but I don't watch those. But Jazz Chisholm, we would like him to be out on the field. You just would. So that's a bummer, especially when you're in the part of the season where this isn't just one of 162. We're now in winning time. This is pennant race time. Very important injury right there. So not good at all.
No, not good at all. But I will say, I am so glad Altuve didn't have some sort of Chase Utley moment, because Yankees fans already despise that guy as it is. I didn't need to see that.
And also our booing, it hasn't done a damn thing. All the booing that fans have done for Jose Altuve, and I get it. He was part of the cheating scandal. He never took any accountability with it. I understand it. I get it rubbing you the wrong way, but I don't know, guys. I feel like 8 years later, it's probably time. Maybe not to start liking him. You don't have to do that. You can dislike him for all I care, but to just boo about the cheating scandal all that time later, it never made sense to me.
I agree. I mean, my biggest thing is I don't boo, as you know, but
Right.
yeah, it's not even the booing; it's the whole F Altuve thing, and it'll be at games where he's not at them. We actually did a YouTube short on this, and there were some people that got offended because they're like, "Oh, well, respectfully, we should be allowed to do that. You shouldn't tell people what to do." And I'm like, "You can do whatever you want." I'm just saying, like, I personally don't care for it. So
Yeah, we're just telling you it doesn't. It looks kind of dumb, and so that's been the coverage from us. So we've been pretty consistent with it.
Yeah.
And Apex with the 2, Apex, we appreciate it, man. Thank you. Says, where do you put Rice if Belly is at first base?
catcher,
Catcher.
yep.
Catcher. It is that simple. Austin Wells can have at bats or maybe a week or so where he puts some at bats together, and we wouldn't be surprised by that because Jake and I both agree on this. We still think there's something there with Austin Wells. He's had a bad year. It's not good. There's no way to sugarcoat that. We think he's a good catcher. He doesn't throw well. He can block well.
Two walks today. We like that.
Right. We like that. It's not that there's nothing there with Wells, but in case of an emergency where you bring back a Grisham, you have Bellinger coming back to the team. Well, if you got a Spencer Jones and a Jason Dominguez, where do you put these guys? Well, Cody Bellinger's got to move into the infield dirt at first base, and the only other move you can do with that is moving Ben Rice to catcher. It's just that simple. And then I told you guys, if Bellinger doesn't move to first, Rice is my first baseman. I want to protect that bat. I want to protect his health. I think that's where his value is. As you saw today, his glove is not where he makes his money.
No. I mean, it is what it is. I'm excited for Austin Wells in 2026. I'm excited for him now because he is starting to hit better. He's starting to look better at the plate. Really, my biggest thing I want to give a tip of the cap to is the guy who had 1/3 of the hits today, and that was Ryan McMahon. I thought he looked sensational. Now, am I here to tell you that Ryan McMahon was a great move? No, I'm not here to tell you that at all. But again, we on this channel, we don't just look at guys, yeah, we don't like him, so we're not going to give him credit or whatever, right? We don't see it that way. The way we see it is very simple. Ryan McMahon, more often than not for the New York Yankees, has not been a great player offensively. Defensively, we know he has value with the glove. Offensively, he struggled. However, what we saw today, that was important. It's a new month, clean slate. Go and change your season around. McMahon has come up with some hits in this series. And today, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, a home run, towering home run. I don't know what the cameramen over at Yes Network were thinking there. They thought that it looked like a pop-up. Like, it looked like it was just going to miss the warning track, and then all of a sudden they're like, it's gone. And I'm like, well, yeah, no wonder why we were surprised, because it literally, the camera was just,
crew at Yes is just, they're less than ideal.
Well,
especially during COVID. You remember that? Where
oh my God.
They didn't let Michael K. Like, he was doing it. I don't know where he was.
His basement.
I don't know where he was calling these games from, and it wasn't his fault because he doesn't get an angle in baseball. That's the interesting part about baseball.
See ya.
We're kind of just in for a loop. We don't know what's happening. When the ball's off the bat, I mean, when you're actually at the game, there are a lot of fans who you can tell they haven't been to a baseball game before. Anytime the ball's in the air, they're like, oh, that ball's gone. And it goes 200 feet into the outfield. Well, when you're watching on TV, you genuinely have no idea. When they flip the camera around, you sort of have to read the outfielders. What's their body language look like? We don't know if it was off the end of the bat, the label, nothing. So we're kind of relying on the camera work. And when the camera puts it up into the upper deck, we're like, oh my God, it's going out the stadium. And then it's caught. And then in that situation was the opposite.
Sounds like
it
the
looked
home
like a
run
lofty
derby.
Fly ball. It is just that's why I don't watch the derby anymore.
Dude, I couldn't even believe we never really touched on that. But that camera, it just reminded me. What was the camera work? They were like, zoom, all right, back, zoom, zoom. Like, it was
we
like...
We also missed pitches. So I think I missed a pitch with Anthony Volpe. There was his 0-0 pitch. They just completely missed it. And they just kicked it off to him, and they're like, oh, and it's 1-0. Like, oh, okay. Good to know.
Good information there. I'm glad you were able to get that to me with that baton passing. Shout out Jason Dominguez on the hard hit ball by McMahon on that last hit that he had. Dominguez scoring on that play.
Nice
hustling
read there.
all the way through. That is not easy, man. That is not easy. He was at second. Like, he turned that into a run. That never left the infield.
I thought he was at first base.
Oh, well, he might have been at first.
Yeah, I think he was at first base, and obviously the ball was kicked way down into right field, which is great. But you have to be paying it. You have to be paying attention more times than not when you're watching the Yankees and it's baseball. Things happen all over the place. You watch enough baseball across the league. Weird bounce here, caroms a certain way. You need to be paying attention. Take the extra base. It could be the difference. And I'll tell you right now, if the Yankees don't score that run, imagine if it's 7-3, how the game feels. It keeps getting worse. So every single run the Yankees can score, you got to score it. You have to. And I think at the time when I saw him at first base and it was a close game, I'm like, why isn't he running? I want to see him moving, but thankfully it all worked out. And Delio, thank you for the 5. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Says, thankfully, Brian failed to give Houston the series. P.S. As a Cincinnati, that's Jake's favorite thing, Cincy Nation. I'm sorry my Reds couldn't get it done against Toronto. Yeah, Cincinnati.
We got Reds fans in here.
Crapped the bed against the Blue Jays. They were winning the game 5-0 early on in this series and lost. Jake, what was it, 12-5? Are you guys kidding me?
You know, Toronto, it's inevitable, okay? You're going to lose the AL East. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're calling the shot now.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Here's my, what is it? They call it open letter? And it's not a letter. It's just me talking. They do this all the time. Oh, it's an open letter. The guy's like, yeah, hey, you. Like, you know, it happens all the time. So anyway, yeah, Toronto, you're going to lose the AL East. The Yankees are going to win the AL East. Hate to break it to you.
Love the confidence.
Cam Schlittler is going to take care of business tomorrow at the stadium, which we love, except for the fact that I will not be at that game. I'll be at the next game, which is not anywhere near as exciting.
We did have somebody in our comment section, I just forget who, that was going to tomorrow's game. And William, again, I peeped the comment section. I am reading the lives. You also said we were not going to win this Houston series, so we can't gloss over that fact. So I would love if you would jump back in the comments and say, hey, I was wrong about that. Now, you maybe don't have, I'm not trying to convince you to have high hopes for the next series, but you got to give the boys some credit. Umpires did not help us a lick. They did nothing for us. Aaron Boone made mistakes. We still won 2 of 3 against a good, not great Houston team. So, yeah, Jake, if you're saying that we're going to win this division, what that really means is I know we were saying that Boston series is probably the most important series of the year. Mm-hmm. This Toronto series probably now takes the cake given what's already happened in Houston series. We've taken 2 of 3 in that series. The Blue Jays probably should have lost that game down 5-0. They didn't. You have to give them credit for that. Now, when you walk into Yankee Stadium and you flip the ball to Cam Schlittler and he dominates a game 1, and that's a huge if. If he does that, all bets are off now. Toronto has to be looking at the Yankees saying we might be in trouble. And it'll be the first time in months they've felt that way. So good to know that the ball's now in our court. If we can take care of business this weekend, we're going to be in great shape. I'm looking forward to this series, and then we'll obviously see what William and crew has to say about that, because I know they want to win. They want this team to win. It's just a matter of if they can do it, and they don't make it easy.
I just think that it's all set up right now for the Yankees. You look at the Toronto series, Schlittler, Heel, Fried. I think all 3 of them are better than the counterpart they're going up against. I think Bassett's really good, but he's going up against Fried. I think Heel is better than Scherzer right now, and I think Schlittler is clearly better than Gausman. So tomorrow, Schlittler's going to throw a gem. They're going to win. Then I'm going to be at the game where they win with Heel on the mound against Scherzer, and they're going to sweep Toronto on Sunday.
You said Freed's pitching in this series, correct?
Fried.
I have the highest hopes for Fried in this series. Now, mind you, I'm one of the biggest Cam Schlittler fans that there is. The one interesting part about this start is that Toronto does not swing and miss. It's not like they can't. Right? It's not Tony Gwynn. But their style of play is we're going to put the ball in play and take a step back in terms of the power game. Cam Schlittler is a guy trying to miss bats, but he's also mature enough. We've talked about that the last several starts he's had. He's not afraid to pitch to contact either. He's starting to get some movement on his fastball where he can do that, and it's working. So he's more of a wild card. This start can go great, but I highly doubt we're going to see 9, 10, 11 strikeouts in a start. It's going to probably look a lot more like what you saw today out of Rodon. Rodon worked 6 full innings. I think he only struck out maybe 3. You need to find a way with contact to be good enough as an arm.
We saw kind of that pullback where Schlittler wasn't just going for the strikeouts the last few times. And I feel like he'll probably go 6 1/3, 6 2/3 in this one, and I think it'll be enough. The Yankees are back at the stadium. They're still hitting homers. I think they're going to have liftoff, but I also think the way that they won strategically in this game, the Grisham home run put it away, but they came through, in some spots. Now, they left the bases loaded in a sense, but they still were able to put up a run. I liked, just the piece of hitting from McMahon today. The bottom of the order was really surprising. They stepped up. Even Volpe had a hit.
You text me about
looked
it?
good. Yeah, I mean, I had to, right? So
yeah,
I just think, it's September. You're going back to Yankee Stadium. You're coming off winning, what? You just won 5 of your last 7 on the road. This was a very good road trip, Gary. Very good. And I think that they're going to come into this thing. I think, Judge is chomping at the bit. You've already seen Judge really kind of change his approach. He looks back to the beginning of the year. You're not seeing as many home runs, but you're seeing he's not afraid to serve it into right field type of stuff.
The takes are better. He's taking that pitch.
The takes are way better. You're absolutely right.
You saw that fastball from Javier. That's an inch or two off the plate, and you have to trust the umpire to make the right call. But a good hitter...
Easier said than done.
Much easier said than done. It's a great point. But great hitters, like a Barry Bonds, for example, is not chasing that pitch. And they're just not. It's against their DNA. So love the fact that he's doing that. And I like that you pointed that out. You mentioned that actually several months ago. That you felt like Judge was getting a little bit away from it. Maybe it was the Cal Rowley, right, catching up in MVPs. He wanted to hit homers too. Who knows what it was? Or it could have been injury or just poor performance. We're not sure what it was. But it's starting to go back the right direction, which is a good thing. And what helps is that other guys in the offense are picking up their slack and not putting so much pressure on them. So that's a good thing. And you mentioned their record. The Yankees are 16-6 their last 22 games. So pretty good. Their schedule was light, and they took care of business. What's up?
When you look at Toronto, now they got to play Houston after the Yankee series. They have to play Baltimore. Now, I understand it's Baltimore, but this is a team that is just giving them fits. Baltimore beat them 11-4, 16-4, 3-2. Like, they won 3 out of 4, by the way. So Baltimore's giving them fits.
How about Boston just lost Roman Anthony?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot happening right now for the
City
Yankees.
Series, by the way.
Yeah,
they lost the Kansas City series. They'd have to play Kansas City again. Oh, don't forget, they got 7 games against the red-hot 7 straight winners, Tampa Bay Rays. They also have Boston. Toronto is not winning this AL East. I will put my stamp on this. It's not happening.
There's a lot going against them for sure. And I won't just simply say, and I like your confidence. I also would think, I think I said maybe 4 days ago, it's either going to be Boston or the Yankees. And since then, Roman Anthony, the Red Sox, this isn't even a debate. It's their best player. He hit 3rd in our series. And he hit a big home run, right? Backbreaker. He has, I can't remember, it was like a lat strain. He's out for the rest of the regular season. It's a problem. Huge problem for Boston. And Alex Cora obviously covered that. And he's like, you can't harp on it. We've just got to move on. And that's what he should be saying. It's what he should be doing. But how does that help them in a pennant race? It doesn't. They're not in position. They need all these games, just like we do. And then you look at Toronto, they don't have our schedule. And the good thing about the Yankees is they can take care of business against all these contenders they have stacked up right now. And if they do that, they don't have to look at, well, what did Boston do today? What did Toronto do today? They're right in front of you, literally. As you guys like to put it, they always say, oh, it's right in front of us. No, it literally is now, because the team that you have to beat is the team on the field. That's the team you're running down. Toronto this week. So huge series. I know you're going there.
Yes.
For a game. We have others in our comments, other members who are also going. That's to the Schlittler game. That's the game I would love to go to. Tomorrow's game is going to be electric. I can't wait to see what Cam Schlittler does. I want to see if he shows any emotion, because he's so stone-faced with what he does. It seems like pitching for New York isn't getting the best of him at all, and you love to see that. So who knows what'll happen tomorrow. Big test for him. We'll see if he passes. And Carlos Rivera, welcome aboard. Thank you for being a member of Yankees Unloaded. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the member. I don't know why YouTube is totally frozen right now. So
All good.
That's sick, by the way. Love that.
But Carlos, we'll get back to you. And Joshua M. NYC with the 5. Joshua, thank you. Says new member. We really appreciate that. Jake, will you have a different view of McMahon now? No, he will not. I'll answer it for him, and I'll give him the floor here in just about 10 seconds. But I have a pretty good idea. That glove has been useful, and he's making contact. The glove's been awesome, and Jake's covered that. I've covered it. We love the glove. But you're paying $16 million this year, next year, and the year after that. Is it a premium to pay for a glove that periodically can hit? Yes. Was he awesome today, Jake? Also, yes. So we covered it all.
Yeah, no, exactly. Awesome today. Do I still wish every single day that they just got Key Brian Hayes or anyone else? Pretty much.
Or Bregman this offseason?
Well, don't even get me started. And then, the news. Oh, my God. He's going to opt out. We knew this. This is why it was so stupid for the Yankees not to get... Think about how... Gary, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but think about how freaking brainless, mind-numbingly dumb you have to be. Be like, we don't want to give Bregman $40 million a year, but it's 1 year. 1 year. We knew he was opting out. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the Yankees don't have to pay somebody after they opt out of the contract.
It's like Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger right now, technically, Jake, is on a 2-year, and you're talking about the beginning of this year when we traded for him. We sent Cody Poteet, and his deal at the time, a lot of people looked at it and said, oh, this is awesome. Cody Bellinger's on a 2-year, $50 million contract, $25 a year. No. Cody Bellinger was on a deal that's $25 million with a player option for the following year. Meaning, if I play well, and Alex Bregman was under the exact same premise, he didn't play well in the first half of last year. So what happened? He gave the Red Sox this deal. If he plays well, which he has, he's going to opt out of that deal and cash in next offseason. That's exactly what he's doing. So very interesting, Jake. I know you really wanted Bregman. We didn't really talk about the concept of short deal. I know we said maybe he'll just agree to a 1-year deal, but I feel like when he signed with Boston, everyone just kind of made the assumption that he's married to Boston now. No. He gave Boston a contract where if he just stinks, he can ink it and renew it again next year for another chance to reset his value. And I thought that was interesting because now we're looking at McMahon. But today, Jake, as you covered at the very beginning of the show, Ryan McMahon, you wanted to go out of your way to talk about how important he was with the bat. He was... Without Ryan McMahon, the Yankees lose today. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you got to give credit where credit's due, and that's our show. It's not a flip-flop. It's just us reporting the news. Guess what the news is? It's what happened. This isn't a fiction novel, right? Anthony Volpe is still bad. Even if he has a 4-hit game, he still is hitting like 180 since May. He's not a good baseball player. He's just not. But when he has a good game, we're going to give him his credit in that space. So Ryan McMahon on Thursday, September 4th, 2025 was really good. However, Ryan McMahon on Friday, September 5th, 2025 could be dog water. I have no idea what he's going to be tomorrow. Overall, though, with the Yankees, he has not been good. And you're paying him $16 million a year. That's my issue. And by the way, just to touch on this real quick with Bregman, if the Yankees are really serious, like after the season, they want to continue just pushing, because we don't know. Are they going to win the World Series? Maybe not. Probably not. Whatever. But after the season, I don't want to hear, no, we have Ryan McMahon. We're paying him $16 million. Yeah. You also have the top 3 biggest payroll. Okay? So if Bregman becomes available, then you trade McMahon. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah, because it's not a marriage. These are contracts. You pay players for their services, and if new options come available, and we're not telling you, hey, today, given what's happened, trade for Bregman. We're not telling you any of that. All we're telling you is when we kick this down the road and we get into the winter, let's not act like because a player's under contract in one spot, we're the New York Yankees. If the better option comes available, you may have a decent option or an option that will suffice as a Band-Aid. You rip the Band-Aid off and you replace them with option number A. So that's what he was saying that from the beginning. And Jake, I don't even think I was behind you on that take. I wasn't, because I felt like I wanted to see what Cabrera would do. Obviously, I look like a complete dunce having said that anyway, but at least I can own up to it. And good on you with the take. And again, guys, if you're just joining us, now we've have almost 600 people in here. Please be sure to like this video. Jump in the lives. We have a community here you guys are awesome. We look at other podcasts as well, and we don't talk trash or any of that stuff or tell people not to watch other podcasts. We don't do that. But no one has the type of audience that we have at 10,000 subscribers. There's not another podcast. Nobody. And so we're very proud of that. We're proud of the group we've built. And if you haven't subscribed to us yet and you're thinking about doing so, we highly suggest you do it. Our chat, we try to keep it as civil as possible. This is a baseball conversation, so we really appreciate you guys. And Joshua, thank you for the super. And the Rowdy with 2 says Grisham is clutch. Re-sign Tumu Reggie Jackson. Oh my God. By the way, speaking of Reggie Jackson, they showed a still image of Reggie Jackson when he played for the Yankees. He was yoked.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea. Here's the funny part. So maybe 6 months ago, my wife and we went to dinner, and we're out there, and all of a sudden somebody squeezes my shoulder, and it was Reggie Jackson, and I'm saying, and we've seen each other many times, and he's like, how's the family? How's everyone doing? Very nice guy. And he sits there and he walks off, and my wife goes, oh, who was that? He looks so nice. I go, oh, that's Reggie Jackson. And I showed her a video of Reggie Jackson hitting in October, and he's very like a cocky player. He likes to wear his sleeve, right? He likes to part on his sleeve. He's gonna be, it's like Deion Sanders-esque, right? He's gonna tell you how he feels, and I love that about him. And she's like, he was like that? Because you see how like gracious and how like he just looked like this sweet old man. And I was like, no, he was the man. If you want to know who the man was, it was him. So love that right there. Timu Reggie Jackson. I haven't heard that yet. So
my dad's
credit to you, Rowdy.
Favorite player.
Yeah.
He was telling me about, it's so funny. Back in the day, he was telling me about Reggie bars and how it was such like, oh, you got to get a Reggie bar, right? Like, because it was like, like a Baby Ruth, but it was a Reggie Jackson little like, candy bar. They brought it back, by the way. You can get a Reggie bar. They sell them in some random shop in New Jersey.
They're probably better than Mr. Beast's chocolate bars. I tried one of those 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, one of the worst candy bars you've ever had. Unbelievably bad.
So Feastables, they will not be sponsoring the channel.
No, they were so bad. I don't even know if I'd want the sponsorship. Not all money is good money. That is not good candy.
We don't want to shill. We don't want to shill. I actually liked it. I don't know. But I also have changed my my stance on a lot of different food, as you know. So I like food that maybe 2 years ago I never would have liked. I just think, it was trying too hard to be like taste like healthy, or like what was the way that they did it? It was like, it was supposed to be like not a health, it wasn't like a health bar, but it was supposed to be like a healthier option to chocolate.
Whose?
Feastables.
Oh, no. See, if I'm buying a chocolate, it needs to be as unhealthy as possible. Those are the ones that you want.
All right, so I'll tell you this. You like ice cream?
Oreo ice cream, yeah.
I mean, I didn't. All right, yeah, ice cream in general. Like Oreo ice cream. The best ice cream that I've come across, the quality and everything, because look at your ingredients, folks. This is a little break from the program right now. Look at the ingredients. They got all sorts of crap in ice cream nowadays. You know who just does it the right way? Because ice cream isn't supposed to be good for you. It doesn't have to be good for you, right? It's a, you're indulging in a treat. Well, Haagen-Dazs. Haagen-Dazs just has just old school good ingredients. It still has the sugar, right? It still has, actual sugar. That's the point. It's got actual sugar. It's got all that ingredients. Dude, I'm telling you, Gary, next time you're at the store, just look at the back of some of these ice creams. It's insane what they're putting in it. Like, yeah,
I'm just under the impression that if I'm buying ice cream, I have a lot of nerve complaining about the stuff that's in it. They're like, hey, if you want health, then go get a salad. And so I would say touche.
Yeah.
Apex with the 2. Thank you, Apex. Appreciate that, man. Says, you guys should have an intro theme to set up the pod. I don't know about an intro theme. I'm just not sure about it. I've seen a lot of other podcasts have an intro theme.
I'm sure about it. We're not an intro theme podcast. Here's the thing. I'll give the full-on answer, not even just the PR answer. No, we're not going to have an intro theme. We appreciate the super Apex, and of course we understand why people like that. We used to. Intro theme, here's the thing that they don't tell you about an intro theme. It's why you'll never see it on any of my videos. That's just wasting time to get to the content. And you have to assume, as a content creator, a podcaster, what have you, that you have 30 seconds to hook your viewer.
Literally. You do.
So if I have an intro,
and they're like, you'll be at 30. First of all, you'll have like 20,000 people click your video, and within the first 8 seconds, it'll be like, it'll just take off.
It's so true.
Everyone's analytics look exactly like that.
Yeah.
People will click a video, and if you haven't cured cancer by second number 4, they're gone.
Dude.
That's why Mr. Beast, when you click a video, he's like, what's up, guys? Within the first second.
Yeah, and
it's because he knows. Exactly. They're flashing a bunch of things, and it pisses people off, but it makes you not want to click away. So, yeah, we'll probably stay away from the intro themes. And by the way, I do see somebody in the comment section. Where is it at? I think it was Sweet Baby Jesus. Says, love it, Yankees Unloaded, and respect it. Welcome in.
Appreciate you.
Love you in Talladega Nights.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I used to have an intro theme, and we had an intro theme, and that was obviously before we started, doing it. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, what's so funny is we all have been there, where you're trying to learn how to do something, maybe make a certain, recipe or whatever, right? And you're watching a YouTube video, and the intro's like. It's just ridiculous. All this like weird stuff, and you're like, I don't know who this person is. This doesn't mean anything to me. I'm out. Like, what I mean?
if they don't get to it within the first 15 seconds, I'm gone. So it makes sense. Ninja Hot Dog with the 5. Ninja, welcome back. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Says, right now, I don't trust any reliever. This is actually, I'm glad he's bringing this up, because this actually is kind of along the lines of something I was saying on Twitter. It says they don't have talent. Oh, they do have talent, but it seems they always fail under pressure. This sounds like I can hear his voice right now on the voicemail saying this, especially new players like Devin Williams, Doval and Bednar. So where I'll disagree, I think Bednar is exactly who I want on the mound under pressure. I think his personality fits the bill. It just does. And today, if he didn't have the curveball, we probably would have been in trouble. But I don't think he's a guy I would say folds under pressure. Now, Doval's he was struggling in San Francisco. Exactly the way that you see him struggling in New York with control. He didn't have control in San Francisco. There's a reason they traded him. They traded him away because he's got great stuff. He's got no idea where it's going. And whichever pitching coach, whoever else, can figure out his control, you've got a gem. But the Giants said, we don't have time for this. We can't fix it. So he's not as valuable to us as maybe he is to you. We'll trade him to you. And they did it the last second. And Devin Williams, obviously, we know we've got a wet lemon. So, Jake, what do you think about this? That he doesn't trust our relievers. Our relievers, as the Yes broadcast brought up today, they have squandered a lot of games. Whether that's just Devin Williams or if it's a Luke Weaver, they've given up a lot of games. And if our bullpen, we could call them a good group this year, we're probably up in first place by 5 or 6 games. What do you think about these relievers as a whole?
It's tough. I think, really, they've all been inconsistent. Even Bednar, to a degree, he's come up big in some key spots, but you compare him as the closer this year, you compare him to what Luke Weaver was at this point last year, it's not even close. Luke Weaver was absolutely nails. Like, no one was hitting him at all. And I do feel like it's just kind of going to figure itself out. I kind of feel like these guys are going to pitch better in October. I don't know why. I have a feeling Doval is going to pitch better in October. But right now, yeah, it's a lot of inconsistency. And,
do you remember
Devin Williams. What was that?
Remember that? Joe Kelly. Do you remember that when the Dodgers won that World Series in 2020?
Oh, my God.
Because you're saying that you think Doval, we both agree. I think Doval he can turn it on. He's got the stuff.
Yeah.
Joe Kelly was horrible for the entirety of the regular season. His ERA was fine.
Mark Leiter Jr.
Terrible. And then all of a sudden you get in October and it really works out. But what ended up happening was in September, Kelly figured it out. He just did. It was a shortened season, so he had a lot less runway to really work with. And then all of a sudden they went into the postseason, and next thing you know, they're talking about Gratterall, right? And Kelly, they've got some hot arms that they can actually go to, and it worked. It ended up working out. So I'm in full agreement with you. Again, Jake, we might just fall flat on our face about Doval.
Absolutely, but I'm willing to go down with it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm willing to go down with Doval. Look, you got plenty of years of control with him, and you got Matt Blake. I'm not like, I don't like the crazy knee-jerk reactions to like get rid of Doval. It's like, no, everybody that you traded for at the deadline, like you shouldn't just get rid of everyone willy-nilly. Like there should be a reason. Is there a certain player that you would call up where you're like, they don't have spots, so I would just rather move Doval, right? Also, I think Doval, if I'm not mistaken, he has an option left, so they could send him down to AAA as well. So just getting rid of him makes no sense. They even get rid of Jake Bird, who is a total potato. He's a potato. He's an absolute potato.
That was a Michael Jordan fadeaway. Nothing but net from your dad. He was like, Bird is a piece of bacon, useless. And he could not have been more on the money.
Turkey or beef bacon?
I'm going to go turkey bacon. My mom used to give me turkey bacon growing up, and that was just garbage. Everyone always used to be like, oh, bacon. Every morning, as soon as I wake up, I just need to have bacon. I'm like, bacon is just not good at all. And then I became an adult and started cooking my own bacon. I was like, oh, you know what? This is not the bacon I used to grow up on. Turkey bacon is disgusting. So, yeah,
what about
he's
Canadian
a bird.
bacon?
What the hell is that?
No, you don't even know what it is?
No.
It's basically ham.
I'll stick with bacon.
Yeah.
I'll just go bacon, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's delicious. Not healthy for you.
Lauren catching strays.
As she should. Turkey bacon is absolutely revolting. And to throw your kids under that type of abuse is really appalling. Turkey bacon, have you had it? Horrible.
I like it. It's fine. I prefer beef bacon, but Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Mom. And Ness with the 5, who's also a member. So Ness, we appreciate you doing both. So really appreciate it. Thank you,
Ness.
Says our starters have been great. Jake, you mentioned this 2 days ago. We completely agree. They flipped a switch. They just have, right? Fried's been better. Cam Schlittler looks like a vet. He just does, and you're going to see it again tomorrow, we hope. Will Warren's been serviceable. Gave up that grand slam, obviously. Then you saw in the follow-up start, he's been enough. We're getting some good starting pitching. Hitters have been solid. Yeah, I think that's a solid way to put it. They've just been solid, not necessarily clutch, but today they were. And bullpen has been shaky. Who do you trust other than Cruz? Jake, I want to kick it to you. Resign Grisham and Belly. We agree. Jake, who do you trust right now? Who's in your inner circle? Because I know Duvall's not in your inner circle. He's just someone you believe can get there. But Cruz, is Weaver out of your inner circle? I'm not telling you, are you quitting on him? But who would you be able to flip the ball to in our bullpen and say he's going to do his job?
I mean, right now I would go with the Cruz missile to pitch 7th and 8th inning. And then I'd go to Bednar in the 9th.
Yeah, we need you to go. You need to go length. That doesn't bode well. And I agree with you. I think Cruz is probably the guy. But the fact that we're having to ask Fernando Cruz, who we got from the Reds, who wasn't a good pitcher before this.
No.
Our first instinct is to kick the ball to Cruz for multi-inning. It should tell you, Ness, how we feel about the group right now. We think there's potential for a couple of them to stand out. I know, Jake, you had some confidence in Devin Williams to at least take a step forward. But to say they're in the inner circle of trust, there's not a lot of guys we can trust in that room right now.
Yeah. No, I like Mark Leiter Jr. I just don't know if I like him in the 8th inning. It's really, it's tough. I'm curious to see what happens with Yarbrough. Where does he end up pitching? What does that look like? See, I would do more double-barreled bullpen or double-barreled action where you go with a starter and then another starter out of the bullpen, essentially. I think that's the way to go. It cuts down on your usage of these guys. I also have to say, think about the innings, Gary, right? We are getting to that point in the year where it's like these guys are going to get kind of tired. And
that's fair.
I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to be a realist here. If you look, the innings pitched, Tim Hill's already thrown 61 in a third innings.
Do you trust Yarbrough as our lefty specialist or Tim Hill first? I feel like that's a genuine question because Tim Hill's job is to give up soft contact. We just saw him not do that, and he's human. That can happen. But I also feel like I don't know if I love the Tim Hill lefty on lefty situation the way I previously would have thought I would in the World Series last year. What do you think about this? Because for me personally, I actually really like the idea of using Yarbrough out the bullpen as a weapon.
I do too. I trust Tim Hill more situationally. I feel like Yarbrough should start, but he's starting in the 5th or 6th inning type deal.
That's fine.
And my thing with Tim Hill, my concern, we're talking career high pitches now because he had a career high last year, 67, and now he's up to 61 in a third. I mean, he's going to get past that career high
easily.
Then you have the postseason. And the postseason, altogether, he ends up going 75 in a third innings. So it is a career high for him last year. It'll be a career high this year. That concerns me with Tim Hill. And then, Luke Weaver's thrown 57 innings. Ryan Yarbrough's thrown 55 and a third because he got hurt. So, I mean, he's still in play here.
So
Devin
we can
Williams,
use the injuries somewhat to our advantage.
That's how I'm
did
looking
talk
at it.
about Luis Heel. They said, okay, well, it sucks that he's hurt last year.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll be fresh in the postseason run. What did the Yankees do? They said, we haven't seen you enough. You go sit down next to coach. It's exactly what happened. He wasn't on the field. And I can't even blame them for that. I really can't. Because you want to pitch guys who have been there. And even when Yarbrough walks through the door, he hasn't really been in the fire. So it's an interesting situation to be in. I think that Boone has to be able to read the room and say, this bullpen, it's not like they're all systems go, everything's working. Yarbrough stepping in might be the second or third best arm in the bullpen right off the rip. And so I think they should use him, but I would agree with you. I think you've talked me into that. If he comes into the game, maybe if you get 5 1/3 from Schlittler and you want to pass the ball to somebody and not have to look in your bullpen and use 4 different dudes, you can bring in Yarbrough. He gives you a completely different look from the other side, and he can go multi-inning, no problem. He's been a starter before. So definitely interesting. Should really help a team down the stretch in September. Apex with the 2 says, WTF, how did Tampa get close? Imagine they steal 3.
Dude, it's right there in front of them. And I don't mean that, as like a joke. I mean, when you look at Tampa, they just swept the Mariners. They've won 7 straight.
What is Seattle doing?
Seattle's fallen off a damn cliff. I don't know. Seattle's
you
the
weren't
poster.
high on Seattle. You weren't.
No, I liked what they did. I liked that they went out. They brought in Suarez, who's familiar with the organization, right? Yep. I thought that was a really good fit. But now, Suarez looks awful. He's awful. And there's nobody that ever could have predicted this, because if he was going to go anywhere and be awful, I didn't think going back to Seattle where he had success is where that was going to happen.
Yeah, if he got traded to like the Dodgers because Muncy's out, you're going to a major market, you can make the argument, okay, you put on the pinstripes and he doesn't live up to it. Okay.
Exactly.
And everyone's judgment was that if the Yankees trade for Suarez or any of these teams that need a third baseman trade for Suarez, you're getting a guy who's going to hit. Maybe he's not going to hit to the level he did in Arizona, but he's going to hit. That's his calling card. But the glove is to be desired. Not very good. And so Seattle thought, we can take the glove. We're a really good defensive team. We got Rodriguez patrolling the outfield. We're good on defense. We just need the bat. Jake, you brought it up. That bat has been a pool noodle. It's not been good. He hit some clutch home runs this past 2 weeks, and I was watching those outings. But overall, he hasn't hit. So very interesting. Tampa would be crazy just because we don't know where they're playing these postseason games. I think Major League Baseball said they're going to try and accommodate for the postseason and put them somewhere else in a neutral zone. That's crazy. So
it is crazy, but this is the hottest team in baseball right now. And they, like I said, they beat the Nationals, right? They're beating up on the Guardians, but the Guardians are right there. The Guardians were ahead of Tampa before this run, right? Tampa was out of this thing. And now all of a sudden, Tampa's crept into the conversation where they're only 2 games out. And guess what? They, I believe, have the tiebreaker over the Mariners for the season.
Yeah, let me just take a quick look here. I would say the team that could be in trouble, it's really just Seattle. Let's be honest. The 3rd spot, I don't think it's up for any debate.
I don't know how that works. They tied the season series, so how would that work?
Maybe run differential. It could be record against division.
Without looking, I'm going to say Tampa has the run differential. Ready?
Over us?
No, over the Mariners.
Over the Mariners, okay.
Oh my God, they totally do.
Yeah, Seattle's just a plus 11. So
yeah,
but also Houston is a plus 11. They're leading their division. So plus minus, it's not the Holy Grail, it's not the Bible, but it's an indication most years of something. It just this year is insane. So yeah, I love that Michael K brought up plus minus, and this year just so happened to be like the worst year ever to focus on it.
I know, it's true. By the way, I don't know if you've been keeping score at home. Here are the teams that have a winning record on the road. The Yankees.
Okay.
Toronto.
Yep.
Detroit.
Also barely.
Houston barely.
Yeah.
Philly is 500. They don't have a winning record. Milwaukee's crushing. They have 40 wins. Chicago. And the San Francisco Giants. Isn't that absolutely insane? The Dodgers, the Padres, the Phillies. Like,
San Diego's a bad baseball team on the road. They're 33-39. The Dodgers, 33-36 on the road. What does it tell you? Don't just tell people that it's about being the hottest team in October. No, it is not. You need to be the hot team, but you also want to be playing at home. Take care of business. The Yankees have to win this division. You need to be playing these games at Yankee Stadium. Is it a foregone conclusion you're going to win those games? No, we've seen them lose them before. But you know what we've seen them do a lot more of? Losing on the road in the postseason.
It's true.
We got walked off in those Houston series. Where were we? Obviously, the walk-offs happen on the road in Houston, right? So if the Yankees were playing some of those series in 2017 at Yankee Stadium, the outcome would have been different. So I want people to understand home field, while it's baseball, it always feels 50-50, anyone can win. In October, there's a massive difference between playing at home and playing on the road. So I'm excited to see what the Yankees do, because when Jazz comes out, and it's a bummer that he got hurt. I hate that he's not going to be a part of the entirety of this run. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll be covering that and let you guys know as soon as we hear about it. But we need to see what this Yankees team does about home field. We were talking about a couple weeks ago, based on the way the team looked, Jake, getting home field in the wild card, being the number one spot in the wild card. Now our sights, based on what things have happened with Toronto and Boston, we should be looking for the whole thing, winning this division. So I love that their sights are set there. They deserve to be. It's really good for us. And Scott Ross with a 5, Scott the GOAT, welcome in, says stats won't show it. Man, I agree with this. I love this when I was reading it before. But the 6th inning was the inning of Rodon's Yankee career. Wheels easily, as the broadcast mentioned, could have come off, and he got 5 outs. That is exactly right. He was having to do work he shouldn't have had to do, and he did it anyways, and you wouldn't be able to look at his face and tell he did it. He just said, okay, give me the ball, I'm going to make another pitch. Give me the ball, I'm going to make one more pitch. And he kept doing that until he could walk off the mound. Carlos Rodon from a year ago would have looked like Jersey Shore. He would have punched the wall. It would have been a different player, but he's getting better. The full package. Carlos Rodon, the person, and I love that for him. Jake, what do you think about that 6th inning? Because I loved it.
No, it was huge. It was really gutsy. Not easy. Only gave up 3 hits today. But, again, it goes back to what I've been saying about Rodon. Once he stopped caring so much about the strikeout, I think and I understand, some people will be like, well, he's a power pitcher and you pay him to strike out 8 batters a game. Well, no, I pay him to go through 6 or 7 innings and only give up 3 hits. That's what I pay him for.
Because people say they want length and they want strikeouts. Well, it's like, okay, well,
yeah,
it costs a lot more than 200, right? 200 million. As much money as $200 million is, no, missing bats and going length that's where you're going cream of the crop type arm. So Carlos Rodon he's very good, but I don't think he's in that sphere.
You know me. I've always been, or not always, since we started doing this show, I have morphed into I would rather generate soft contact with the starters, and I want missing bats bullpen. I want a bullpen that is not going to give up contact. That's what I want. Now, that's a tough ask. It's just because you can miss bats doesn't mean you will miss bats. There's a difference there. So, yeah, we saw today Luke Weaver didn't miss too many bats today, right? We know he's capable of it, but he didn't. And so, yeah, today was a huge win for the New York Yankees, and I think it further, and I want to make this clear, I think it further emphasizes why I'm confident in them, because I'm ultimately very confident in them. And this isn't This is very simple, okay? This is not really a new development. It's always been what we talked about, Gary. I need to see some improvement. I need to see some life. And the Yankees have shown that. Going back to that first Astros series, right? You have the Astros series, you lose. When I was at that concert on that Friday, they lose in extra innings. Devin Williams. Stop me if you've heard that before against the Astros. Anyway. They win 5-4 the next day. They go back to winning. And then they lose 7-1. And you're like, oh, boy, here we go again. Not a good loss. You lose a close game, you come back and you win. That's a good sign. You lose a close game, and then you lose another close game. Okay, so you haven't just completely... When you lose 7-1, that's an ass-kicking. That's not good, especially when you have Max Fried on the hill. Well, after that, they go and they win 2 out of 3 against Minnesota. Joe Ryan being the only one they didn't get the win against. They sweep St. Louis. They sweep Tampa in that mini series. They even put 13 runs up on Tampa. They struggle against Boston. They blow 2 games that they could have won. They end up losing the series 3-4. But you know what? They win that last game 7-2. People say, it's no big deal, right? Except it is. It is. Because they go on, they dominate Washington, they dominate Chicago, and now here they are, and they've done a great job winning 2 out of 3 against a tough Houston team that really just does not want to go down. We saw the fight to the bitter end, and now they're back going up against Toronto, and they're at home. And then after that, they got Detroit without Skubal. They have Boston, Minnesota, Baltimore, Chicago, and Baltimore. The Yankees need to win this series against Toronto. They don't have to sweep. I do think they get the sweep, though. I can feel it in my bones.
Love that.
But all they have to do is win 2 out of 3 against Toronto. Then Detroit. I'm not even going to say you have to win that series. I'd like you to. And you know what? Without Skubal, I do think they win the series. So I think they win 5 of the next 6 games. Well, I guess that would technically be 6 of the next 7.
I think they're going to win that Detroit series. Detroit is playing horrible baseball since the break. Are they chopped liver? Are they Colorado? Right. Are they Colorado now? No. But they've won 3 games their last 10. They went on a 11-game losing streak just after the break. They're struggling, guys. Skubal's the real deal. He's money. He's going to command a deal north of $400 million. Well, you don't just have one arm. Right? Paul Skeens doesn't go out and field all 9 positions. He pitches. Skubal, same deal. He pitches. The rest of the guys have to play. You got to hit. You got to field your position. You got to run the bases. You have to do all of it. They're not a scary team right now. As much as respect as I gave Detroit earlier this year, Jake, you know, I was worried about Detroit. Obviously, if things progress and continued on the way that they were, but they're not. And that's why we're going to cover it that way. They're not a good baseball team right now. So that series in Detroit, I expect to go win that series. I just do. We know it's human nature. You don't just win every series, but you at this point need to. And obviously, Tim with the super, thank you for the 10. And he's along the lines of we have to win this series. Tim says, Yanks have to win this next series or it's wild card or nothing. I never complain about umpires, but this series has been horrible. I'm not calling that a no catch in my youth travel games. Same umpire, by the way.
Oh, that was
it was dismal. And you hear the broadcast actually didn't do it justice. The broadcast said, "Oh, he might have been screened by this." Well, no, if you're screened, you need to just make the assumption that it was an out. It was a soft line drive in the infield. You don't just assume the ball hit the ground because you didn't see it. You should be assuming the ball's caught, but
you
they
should
didn't.
be sued for a bad call like that.
It's like in the NFL, if you don't see a catch, right? If you don't see the ball hit the ground, you need to call it a catch and then prove it otherwise. They didn't do that, and it was obviously a horrible call. But I agree with Tim. This is a must-win series. All of them are must-win. No duh. We're within 25 games of the season ending. But when you're within 25 games and you're now 3 full games back of Toronto and Toronto walks into your back, they walk into your front yard, you need to punch them in the mouth. And that's the position we're in right now. So Tim, Jake, we're going to find out exactly what Aaron Boone's 2025 Yankees are made of in September. Here we are.
I'm excited. I really am. I think that Boston series it can go either way. Right now, I'm kind of leaning they're going to win 1 out of 3. I am.
That Boston series you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
But I think they're going to win. They're going to sweep Toronto. They're going to win 2 out of 3 against Detroit. They're going to win 1 out of 3 against Boston. They're going to sweep Minnesota. They're going to win. I think they win 2 out of 4 against Baltimore. I think that'll be tough. Baltimore always plays the Yankees tough, and that'll be in Baltimore. Then I think they sweep Chicago, and then they sweep Baltimore on the back end. So what would that put the Yankees record at? What am I predicting here? So let's do the math here. 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87,
it's like a 92
88,
year.
89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. 95 wins.
Well, that would be a much better finish than anybody. Well, it kind of goes to show you if Devin Williams was himself, how many games does the team win then? How many games?
They're a 100-win team. And I honestly see
100-win
that.
team.
I see a 100-win team. That's what they should be. So if they finish with 95 wins, it's actually going to say that the Yankees' expected win total was 101. That's what it's going to say.
Yeah, and I do see in the comment section, because, again, we do read them. Where was it? Here we go. Good Lord, our chat is moving quick. Well, anyway, someone says, I don't know how you guys think they're going to sweep Toronto. Momentum. It's not hard to be swept in this league. The Dodgers were just swept today. Did you guys watch the Pittsburgh series? What would it have looked like if Pirates fans were like, no, we're playing some pretty solid ball right now. We're not a great team, obviously. We're going to lose Skeens in 2 years, obviously. However, Skeens is going to pitch one of those games. We're going to fight like hell. The games are going to be close. You think the Dodgers thought they're going to get swept this week? Well, they did. It happens to good teams. And Toronto right now doesn't have momentum. My prediction was the Yankees are going to win 2 of 3. We're at home. And when you look at records, just purely looking at records of all these teams, Toronto is the one team that is above 500 on the road. And that's going to matter in this series. But they're one game over 500. And that's not all against great teams. So teams in general struggle on the road. So my prediction is that's going to show this week and this weekend with the Toronto series. And Jake, hopefully the game you go to, they actually show up. So
to be fair,
that should be fun.
If they were to lose any game, it would be the one that I'm at.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's not. That's why you got to go to all of them. And so that way you can finally catch them. That's what I had to do. I had to go to 3 games.
My bad. Did you say, also, dude, I thought it was so funny.
What's up?
You're going to laugh. Austin Wells Jersey Day which, by the way, I would take an Austin Wells because I think he's going to have a good year next year. So that would actually be a good investment. Well, I'd be getting it for free, but that's not the point. Austin Wells football Jersey Day tomorrow. I'm jealous. No promotion on the 6th, even though it's a freaking Saturday. And then on the Sunday, the Hall of Fame plaque for CC Sabathia. I'm like, do you know how cool that would be to have that just like chilling in my backdrop? Nope. You get nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's... Who's pitching again in that game for you? Was it Max Scherzer?
Yes, I'm watching a 41-year-old pitch against Luis Heel.
Okay. That's the one wild card game where we have no idea. Luis Heel?
Do you remember?
Heel can be off the mound in 2 innings, or he can be out there in the 7th. Nobody, if anyone tells you they know what Luis Heel is going to do this week, that's a liar. They don't have a clue. This dude will go length, then he won't miss a bat, and balls are lined into the seats. He has a ton of talent, no control. The control of late has improved, but we don't know if it'll be there this week. So I'm rooting for him. I am. We need him.
Do you remember when we went to the Yankees-Orioles game and it was Derek Jeter bobblehead day?
Yeah, still got that bobblehead.
Yeah, I do too.
I think I dropped it, though. I think it's broken.
Oh, way to go.
No, but I do have 2 of them. Remember, I left with 2.
Yeah, I know. You just kept taking them.
Yep, I just took a bunch of them. You never know. They're going to be worth nothing.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I got my Derek Jeter bobblehead next to my Sean McVay bobblehead, and then on top of that, you can't see it because the road thing is in the way. That is Deadpool, the Fungo Pop. So
okay, cool.
And then of course Pennywise, which everybody talks about. Oh, and I got a Bill Self bobblehead. So yeah, I got all the bobbleheads over there. Bobblehead supremacy.
Very
I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, I think we can customize those little whatever pop things, and we can make some Yankees Unloaded.
Oh, that would be cool.
It would be pretty cool.
That would be
with a mic.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Like a red, microphone, and my bobblehead. Obviously, I'll get a fresh haircut before you guys make the bobblehead of me. So we'll work on it. And Alex, Jake and I's favorite 49er fan, thank you for the 20, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the show. Says, just want to take a minute to give credit to Rosario. Dune hasn't been given any playing time, but from day one has been the biggest hype man outside the dugout with every homer. He's a glue guy. Yeah, and it's not easy to be this way. You guys remember being in Little League or playing for a club baseball team and you're not playing, and maybe you think, hey, that guy kind of sucks. I think I should be playing. And that opportunity never comes. What do most people do? They sulk. This is a huge opportunity to play for the Yankees. Just is.
Yeah.
You can make millions of dollars. You could be the difference between a pennant or not. And Rosario is not a superstar. He knows that. He's a role player. But role players, what we learn in postseason baseball, especially in pennant races, is it's not always the star players that make the difference in a day. It could be a reliever. It could be some dude that fills in for a couple innings. They make a huge difference. And Rosario probably thinks he can make a difference, and yet they don't give him that opportunity, and he's still the first guy out the dugout. So pretty cool. I would assume if we asked the Yankees in the clubhouse, what do you guys think of Rosario? I bet you he passes with flying colors.
Yeah, I want to say I'm bummed, but I just looked through the schedule, Gary. We're not going to see Rosario in the lineup until September 14th against Garrett Crochet on ESPN.
Are you just simply looking righty-lefty? Is that it?
Yeah, because that's as basic as they make it, which I hate.
At least there's a plan as to why they do it, so we know when he's playing. All we are saying is don't just sit a player for no reason. Like, remember earlier this season, we would see Ben Rice on the bench against righties.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we'd say, okay, well then tomorrow we face the lefty. Why not the day off today? And then Goldschmidt would just be on the bench against lefty. There was no schedule as to why we were doing it. Today we have that. So it's a bummer we're not going to see Rosario. But Alex, we appreciate you mentioning Rosario because he's definitely a bright spot for the Yankees that I don't think everyone was bought into when we had him.
And, of course, if you guys have been following Yankees Unloaded since the beginning last year, Gary and I both wanted Rosario. We did at the deadline. Then he wasn't even on our radar, and they got him. And we're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I want to bring somebody up on the screen who's in our live chat. So, yeah. JD, thank you for being here. Thank you for getting involved in the comment section. And this is a premise that I think everyone believes that they would do, but I want you to remember something. So JD says he's getting paid $800,000, and this is true, to sit there. I'd cheer too. But JD, I also want you to remember what he's missing out on. He's missing out on an opportunity to prove to the other 29 teams that not only can he perform for another contract that's not $800,000, but he can also perform for a major market. Who pays the most money? Major markets. So when you show up to the Yankees and the Yankees are like, hey, you're playing pretty well, we're going to give you another role. Look in the NFL. There's backup quarterbacks, and the quarterback goes out there, right? Maybe a Bledsoe. He hurts his shoulder, and they're like, all right, Tom Brady's coming. Is Rosario Tom Brady? No. But it's an opportunity for someone else to play. You win the job, and the rest is history. Now suddenly you're making millions of dollars playing a game you love. Rosario playing for the Yankees right now, I would assume he'd play well. What do you think people are going to say about him next year or the year after that? We want that guy on our team. We want to give that guy a contract. So there's a huge difference, JD, between $800,000. I know this sounds greedy. And when you see some players, like when you see a guy sign for $6, $7, $8 million, the difference in that type of money is 800 G's is a lot of money. It is. I don't mean to complain for him. But when you're making a check for $800,000 for 5 or 6 years and then you're a retired baseball player, versus the difference of making, say, 6, 7, maybe even 8 million in a year, I mean, that's never work again in your life territory. So, yeah, I give Rosario credit. It's not easy to cheer when maybe you think you should be playing, but he does it anyway.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was a deadline acquisition. It's not like he was a part of this team the whole year. So, yeah, those are the type of guys that it's really easy to say, I want to pay that guy. And I do. I want him back. I want him back. Slater, the jury's still out on because I've barely seen Slater.
Is Rosario a free agent this offseason?
Yes. This was a rental. Okay. But it doesn't have to be. They could bring him back, and then guess what? It's not a rental anymore. So
right. So $800,000. And JD, again, if he plays well for the Yankees and the Yankees are like, you're earning a spot to play, we'll use you right now to try and win this division. You think another team in baseball is not thinking, I'll spend him $4 or $5 million a year for 3 years? $15 million changes your life. $800,000 not changing anyone's life. Not New York. So 500,000, what, 400,000 of that's gone in taxes. If you spend someone $400,000, are they just good the rest of their life? No, but millions of dollars certainly are. So I'm rooting for Rosario. I think he's an awesome teammate, and I think we do have a solid group. I don't really look at our team as having a ton of like Stroman anymore, like Tommy Pham type teammates. This is a solid group of dudes.
Tommy Pham still catching strays.
Yeah, as he should be.
Yes.
I want guys who are rooting for each other and that people have good things to say about. And it seems like we have a solid group. Like we had that the year prior to with Rizzo, a likable team, but they got to put it together. It's not just about being liked. But I appreciate JD obviously for mentioning at least about the cheer.
No, I think this is how I would explain it with Rosario and where I'm at on him. I had a chance to either re-up my lease for the same price, by the way, or I could just move on and find somewhere else. I could get a house if I wanted to, but I don't want to get a house. Like, is that an upgrade technically in the sense? Yes. Right? However, if the apartment works for me, why would I not just re-up the lease? Everything's going well. With Rosario, everything's going well. He comes through when you need him to. He's a great teammate. Why does it have to be a rental? Or if it is, just rent it again. Hit him with another 1-year deal. That's my piece on that.
Jake's going to be renting forever. He just loves it.
I genuinely do. I'm waiting. At some point or another, a house will be worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it right now.
Yeah, and Apex with the 2. I'm not sure if we got to this one. It says use Ninja
Creamy.
Ninja Creamy and make ice cream. Oh, you're talking about the thing. I see that at Costco. Yeah. Clean.
Yeah, it's funny. I bought it, I think, as a gift twice, but I don't have it myself. I think I have every single gadget, though. I just got a Ninja food processor, so
this is not surprising. Jake's got every contraption known to man. My wife, every time we go to Costco, she wants the slushy machine. It's like $340. I'm like, well, I can think of many things to spend $340, but I let her get away with it because I want to go waste $13,000 on a Hasselblad camera. So
yeah, we all have those,
our guilty pleasures.
Yeah, we all have those. I'll say, right? And maybe I like my dual Kasori air fryer, right? And maybe I like my Instant Pot Pro. I don't know. It's I love cooking, so I think that's the thing. I like making new shit, and maybe the Ninja Creamy is something I invest in down the road. I don't know. I have so many appliances though. So
yeah, look at Izzy with the 5. Says, oh, he's mentioning about the Reggie bars that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, hell yeah.
Izzy, appreciate the 5. Thank you. We do see you in the comment section after our videos, dropping likes, so thank you for doing so. And says, first Yankee memory was about 3 years old sitting in the bleachers with my aunt eating a Reggie bar, staring at Harold Baines of the Chicago White Sox in right field. Yeah. That's old school.
That is old school. My dad will appreciate that. But yeah, no, shout out to the Reggie bar. Now I need one.
I'm going to order one just for the sake of it, and I'll try it again live on the show. I'm going to order it on Amazon. It should be on Amazon. I'll find it, try it. I'll be honest.
I like it.
Huge fan of Reggie Jackson, but I won't lie about his chocolate bar. I'm not going to lie to anybody about their products unless they're going to be paying me.
You're just sitting there like,
in that case, I will lie.
It tastes so good, and you're just
so delicious. Bring him on the show where we try his chocolate bar then.
Oh my God.
Roman De Los Santos with the 5. Thank you. Says, you guys are killing it. Appreciate that. Congrats. Do you trust Kaboom to make the right decisions?
No.
No.
You just called him Kaboom. What do you think? I think you answered that question, Roman. But we appreciate it.
No one trusts him. And we're going to look at everything he does in hindsight. And you could say, in a critical way of us, you could say, well, you guys are always going to criticize the things that don't work. and you're going to say the things that he does that work, you're going to sweep it under the rug. Wrong. If you watch our show, for the first half of this year, there were a lot of things that Boone was doing wrong, and we talked about it. But we spent a lot of time talking about some of the things he was doing right. And it wasn't always the most comfortable thing to do. It's not fun to tell people there's a takeaway here that's good when they want to complain. It's understandable. So, Roman, we really appreciate it. Thank you for the super. And no, we absolutely, Jake, I know, doesn't trust him. I don't trust him. That's why my phone buzzes 40 times a day of people telling me, why'd we bring him in? Or my Twitter DMs are buzzing. It's because people don't trust what he's doing. All of us.
It's true. And we got B-Rye here with the member for a month. We appreciate you. Glaze Rodon some more for not blowing a gasket like I was in the 6th. Why wasn't that catch reviewable?
How about Judge either? How about Judge sliding into second base? Oh, you know what it was? I stand corrected. I think it was tagged on the hand. Was that what it was? Because I remember in hindsight, I think his
Judge was out. Yeah,
his hand was like sticking out. That's what it was. So I was complaining at the time.
Maybe it's just me. Why is it right after the Yankees get screwed on some call like that, it's always the next time when they try to review something, they're like, nope. Or someone reviews it against them, and it's like the next half inning, and you're like, and you just
reviews.
You feel
if
like
you're reviewing against the Yankees, it's gonna work. We suck.
It's
at
bad.
Reviews. That one we did get right. So in hindsight, I was sitting there thinking, I was in the camp of Michael K. Michael K's like, what the hell? He was safe. And then we saw a different angle. In that angle, it seems like Boone got right away.
It's so funny that you say that.
Good for them.
It was bringing me back to Sean McVay early in his career. He would just get bad advice and be like, yeah, you should definitely challenge it. And like on TV you're watching and the ball just clearly came out. And he's like, yeah, no, they're challenging to see if he was down. They show the replay. It was like, and you're like, what? He was never down. He just dropped the ball. And it's like,
football.
Sometimes, I don't know, you get bad advice. And you got to be on top of this stuff. And I feel like the Yankees, it feels like more often than not, they've been okay about reviews. They do lose, though. They do. But
you don't get a lot of time. They don't get as much time as we get. When the review's happening, they basically turn around and they're like, hold on a second. And they give them 8 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, and that's it.
They have more time than the NFL. Teams already hustling up to the line, so you can't challenge it.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And I would assume in the NFL, especially with the NFL, there's calls every single play.
Oh, congrats on your Eagles win, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you saw that.
Watch. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see it.
24-20.
24-20. So I'm assuming CD Lamb did not get in the end zone. That's tough.
Oh, you don't even... Well, you do because you're an Eagles fan. On the final drive, CD Lamb dropped 3 passes.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, he's on my fantasy team, so that's why.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's why I was excited about it. So that's the only time you'll ever see me rooting for a Cowboy. And John Kirk,
fair enough.
He's got a question for you, Jake.
Ooh.
Thank you for the 5. Says, Jake, have you watched this bullpen? How can you be so confident? Are you confident?
Not really in the bullpen, but I'm just confident that this team's just going to figure it out. I mean, I understand the bullpen's struggling, but I also feel like this rotation is so good, and the way that the hitting is starting to come back, I just trust this team right now. 8 runs, 7 runs, 7 runs. You know, they dropped, 3 straight games, double digits. I mean, they clearly, and this is what I was waiting for. With the Yankees, they've clearly found something. This isn't just like, oh, they played a bad team. No. Hogwash. They just beat Houston 2 games to 2 out of 3 in Houston. I don't care what anyone says. That was not easy. That felt like a playoff atmosphere. That was a huge series win. Now we'll see what they do with Toronto, and I think they're going to sweep them. I do.
Yeah, and someone said Houston's not a great team. I said no one's a great team. Unless we run into Milwaukee tomorrow, there's not one great team, not one, where you look at them and say, oh no, that team's top to bottom.
Compared to everybody, Houston's one of the better teams you can face.
Thank you. So it is what it is. Is Boston a great team? Nope. Is Seattle a great team? You were just talking about that, Jake. They're not. They've won 4 games of their last 10. They're not a great team. You mentioned Tampa. Tampa is climbing the rankings. They're, again, not a great team. They're climbing because the teams that they're chasing are not great. The same goes for everyone. If you can just play better baseball than the rest, then people can look at you like you're great. But reality is you're just more good. As Jake likes to say, get good.
Get good.
Right. We don't have to be great. And a good team's going to win the World Series this year. Not a great team. So that is the real takeaway. And my mom, Lauren Michelle with the 2, says Reggie bars. Oh, boy. Oh, I mentioned Amazon. Get a 3.1 rating on Amazon, which is not a surprise. Everyone hates everything when you look at reviews for anything.
Oh, don't even get me started. Wait, Reggie Bar's got a 3.1 out of 5 probably because all the reviews are like, I didn't get it.
I didn't get it at all. Mine won't turn on. Mine was broken when I got it. I'm like, that has nothing to do with the product, you moron.
Dude, I know. And I understand because, like, what are you supposed... Like, you're so pissed off and then they ask you to review it after a bad experience. But at the same time, you know what I do? I don't review it because I'm not trying to be disingenuous to other people. That's just that simple.
Review the product. Taste the product. Taste the chocolate. Is the chocolate horrible? Review it as horrible. If it's
Although
great,
I'm terrible,
say
man.
it's great.
I always forget to review. It's bad.
Forget to review. I've never once thought, you know what I should be doing on a Tuesday? I'm going to drop a review about some product I ordered. I just take the product and I think it sucks. I said, I'm not ordering that again. And I don't talk to anybody about it.
I see a 4.2 out of 5. Yeah, milk chocolate covered caramel and peanuts, 24-pack Reggie bars. Made in USA, endorsed by baseball legend Jackson. And
I'm going to order one and I'll give you guys I'll give you guys an honest review of what I think. I'm not going to care if it's broken. I'm going to taste the chocolate, see if it's good.
Edible Reggie, just like my childhood, just like I remember. They're delicious. Large turtle-like patty. This guy gave it a 1 star because it didn't have crisp rice. This is what we're talking about.
That guy's sitting there with a mortgage and a family, and he was like, "It didn't have crisps." What a buffoon that guy is. we know they're not going to be Snickers. So we know that.
And then this one, it says bioengineered food ingredient. Very disappointed. 1 star. You're eating candy. Like I don't like, you know me, I'm a big, ingredients guy, but you're eating candy at that point. It's not going to be good for you.
Yeah. And obviously Alex getting with the times with the 2. Alex, we appreciate you with the mod
He's
as
always
well.
On it.
Says my Jalen Carter bar came with spit on it. Obviously, for those of you who missed it, Jalen Carter spit on Dak Prescott.
That's
before
normal.
A play ever happened. Yeah. Great player. That was very dumb. So that's our football coverage for the night. And my mom also in that said to like the video. So again, guys, if you're here, over 550 of you in here, hit the like button. Helps us out a ton. And if you haven't, make sure to subscribe. Jake, let's get to the diamond level voicemails. I'm ready.
Sounds like a plan. Before we do that, let's pull up tomorrow's game. If I can find it. I love how I've had it up the whole time and now it's just gone. But you know me, I have 787 tabs open and all of that. All right, let's see here. Boom. Okay. Kevin Gausman taking on Cam Schlittler. Gausman is 8-10 with a 3.75 ERA, 1.05
We're gonna need to zoom
whip.
on that bad boy.
Oh yeah, my bad on that one.
Oh yeah, by the way, just letting you know, Jake, that guy sent a long voice message and an updated shorter one, and he wants us to go with the revised shorter one. So just letting you know.
I actually saw that, so
Beautiful.
I was going to do that anyway.
Appreciate
so we're good.
You, guy.
Yeah, we appreciate you, guy. All right, so yeah, this is cool. I like the way this looks, right? So Cam, we already know the stuff there. He's done a nice job, I think, with his stuff. And anyway, I think he's done a nice job keeping the ball in the yard. Gausman gives up home runs. I don't like the matchup for Gausman at all. I think the Yankees are going to hit him, and I think the Yankees are going to win this game tomorrow. I think Aaron Judge goes yard twice. That's my bold prediction.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now. I have no expectations, no want. Like, honestly, I'm going to say this. The only need I have for this series, when we walk into game one, Cam Schlittler, I'm not worried about. As crazy as that sounds as a rookie, not worried about him. Kevin Gausman, the one thing he's done in his starts against the Yankees, he's been wildly inefficient. Doesn't go deep into games. This is not the time that Toronto needs that. Can't happen. When you go into game one, if he's going to be inefficient, you need him out this game in the 4th or 5th inning. Make Toronto's bullpen work. They're not great. They're not. And it's going to set up the entire series. Whoever can have the starting pitcher go deep into a game first, the other team's going to be in trouble because you're setting up your bullpen behind you to be rested, and you can actually go with the guys you want rather than the guys that you now need out of desperation. So, interesting test for Cam Schlittler. He's never been in a game that feels big at Yankee Stadium yet. Tomorrow will be his first. And Kevin Gausman, on the other hand, we've seen him at Yankee Stadium. He's pitched on the road against us quite a bit. And there was one day where we saw 92 and people were wondering if he's hurt. He knows what it's going to be like out there. He knows it's going to be tough. And I'm expecting our bullpen, they gotta pull their weight. I don't care what anybody says. You can say you trust him. I don't trust him. Who cares if he trusts you? You guys need to deliver. Enough with the excuses. Enough with the when do we pitch guys and where do we pitch them, for how long. Do your job and get off the mound. It's that simple.
Yeah. I also want to say this. Looking at the history between the Yankees and Kevin Gausman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Caballero, only 7 at-bats, has a 1,700 OPS. He's going to play tomorrow for Jazz Chisholm. Jazz is out.
Right.
We don't know how long, so, I mean, he could be back in a week. He could be back in 2 weeks. I don't know. He'll be ready for October, I would imagine. But they're probably going to be cautious with him. Paul Goldschmidt has a 526 batting average in 24 at-bats against him. 1,300 OPS. Aaron Judge has a 1,300 OPS as well with 6 home runs. He's hitting 356, the 500 on-base percentage. Ryan McMahon is hitting 357 against Kevin Gausman for his career. He has an 1,100 OPS. Ahmed Rosario, who will not play for whatever freaking reason, because I just wish they would actually use analytics, because analytics would tell you if he's good against this player, he should be playing. He's hitting 286, and he has 1,000 OPS against Kevin Gausman.
And Chris 99, by the way, who's a recent member of ours, Diamond Level. So Chris, thank you for doing so. Says Jazz said, and we didn't see this again, so we can't confirm this, but Chris says Jazz said he was fine and might play this series. So he says he might. So Jake, you said they'll probably be cautious with him. I would agree with you. I do. And Guy brings up that he assumes that Rice catches and Goldie at first base. That is exactly what we're telling you should happen. And Wells can have contribution somewhere. Maybe even he did it this series. But tomorrow's day, the analytics and just the numbers, raw numbers that Jake just read you guys, it tells you the story that Ben Rice should be catching, Paul Goldschmidt should be at first base. And if it works, then awesome. If it doesn't, at least you have numbers to back why you're doing what you're doing.
Oh, and Jazz Chisholm has never gotten a hit off Kevin Gausman in 14 plate appearances.
Okay, so the perfect day to just say, all right, you may feel good. We're giving you that day.
Bellinger, only 2 hits in 22 plate appearances. Anthony Volpe, 3 hits in 26. Tomorrow would be a day I would love to see them actually sit Volpe, put Caballero at shortstop, put Rosario at second, play McMahon at third, Goldschmidt at first, and just let it rip with Stanton, Judge DH, right? I mean, you got 6 guys on your team right now, 6 that have an OPS over 1,000 against this pitcher. Use all 6 of them. This really shouldn't be hard, and yet we know The Yankees will try and justify Anthony Volpe's 125 batting average, 160 on base percentage, and 493 overall OPS against Gausman, even though he has proven in nearly 30 plate appearances he can't hit Gausman.
Yeah, I would assume they're just going to have him out there and say that the calling card is the glove. Now, again, when I say that, I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you what I think they're going to do. So I agree with you, Jake. I'm off the train of even attempting to try and justify why Anthony Volpe should play this day against a lefty and that day against a righty who he struggles against. He should sit, but the Yankees don't use logic. They use logic with some players, like with Goldschmidt and Rice. It seems like they're finding their way. But with other players in different positions, like shortstop, they'll just play till the wheels fall off. And I think that's the situation we're in, and unfortunately, we just have to root for something that's happening we don't agree with. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I hate it. All right, we move. Talking about good stuff. Let's go to our super audio chats or whatever the hell. I don't know. Voicemails.
Diamond level.
We got Diamond level Guy starting us off.
I hear nothing.
You don't hear anything?
No.
All right, one sec. This thing, man. All right, now you'll hear it.
Yep.
Hopefully you deleted the first email or
We did.
voicemail. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I didn't want to talk about the umpires. Anyway, last night I was going to leave something on Austin Wells, but I just wasn't in the mood. And near the end, I believe Wells is going to have today another hit, and that will be a 6-game hitting streak. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I really saw something in him a while back, and he hasn't shown it. And now it looks like we could get the Wells that I think he had in him all along. Even 20 home runs, 63 RBIs is pretty good production for the bottom of the order, regardless of his batting average. Although I think it's going to start coming up. Wells is also 9th in the team for at-bats. So he is lagging behind. People forget that Wells didn't get the starting job until Trevi got hurt last July. Wells finished the year with only 354 at-bats. And even when it was quite obvious that Trevino lost it for a couple months, they still didn't put him in because he was so hot early. But, that's typical Yankees. So let's get a win. Go Yankees.
Appreciate that, Guy. Yeah, I just think for Austin Wells, Jake and I both, just like you, Guy, we have confidence in him long term. But here's the thing about him, is that you can think what you want about his development, and none of it matters provided that Ben Rice is the guy that was behind him. That's the situation the Yankees are in, because when you look at Ben Rice, you saw it at first base today. He was not good. Not good at all. And if he was a good first baseman, they would just play him every day at first, every single time since the beginning of the season, but they didn't do that. Why? Well, they realized we'd rather have Paul Goldschmidt's glove over there. And so when you have Ben Rice, who's now really swinging a hot bat, clearly better than Austin Wells, I don't care what he does in really any game, he won't be better than Rice. Then Ben Rice, who can catch and developed as a catcher, he's your catcher. Sorry. And you're going to miss at bats, which sucks for your development. But if you want to win that job, you might have to do it in 2026, because Ben Rice is probably going to have to come up off of catcher for you to now be an everyday catcher again. So I agree with you. The whole Trevino thing was ridiculous. We were covering that last year, and it was a shame. And Jake, I know you were losing your mind watching that whole platoon situation go down. It was disgusting. But right now he's losing at bats, deservingly so. He's driven in runs. That's a good thing. He's still got pop. That's the potential that's in the bag, but he didn't figure it out this year. He didn't do his job enough to keep his job. He just didn't.
Yeah. We talked about this before the season started, and it's like, okay, you traded Trevino, and we just know how the Yankees are. There's going to be something down the road that will be upset about, certain player playing, Volpe. How about Pablo Reyes, right? We were frustrated with him ever being in the lineup. It's just the way the Yankees are. But, Guy, we appreciate that. Move on to Ninja Hot Dog here.
I am glad we won. That was still a nightmare to watch. Why does it feel like in situations where we're down by like 4 or 5 runs, the game is over and we should just pay attention? We should just not pay attention anymore because we're not going to win. But when we're up by 4 or 5 runs, it feels like we have to be worried because the other team could come back at any minute. It's like they have fight in them, and we don't when we're down. And when we're up, our relievers or whoever's pitching is willing to just give it all away in a heartbeat. Thankfully, we got out of it, but that could have gone very wrong.
Yeah.
Also, can someone please explain what happened with the bat check at the end of the game? I'm still very confused about that. Fire Baboon.
They put a sticker on the bat. That's the latest we've heard. I would assume they authenticated the bat. They confirmed, okay, this is the bat of use. They're probably investigating it, and if anything happened wrong, I don't know, what would they have done, Jake? What's the move? Auto loss, suspension? I would assume a suspension, right?
I mean, I thought it was going to be like George Brett where he gets thrown out. I was waiting for that.
And they didn't want to make a decision at the time. It seemed like they just sort of punted it to a higher power, I guess.
Because they're, ignoramuses. I mean, they showed us that the whole series. So I can't.
This is fair.
I literally could not expect anything less than that.
No.
Anyway, Ninja, we appreciate that. Love the touch at the end. Fire Baboon. Now we got Kyle Malay.
Hey guys, Kyle Malay here. Trent Bonds at it again? Oh yeah. I needed this, I have to say. I got in a little car crash today.
Damn.
My car's not that bad, but still. Everyone's okay. But
Good.
Yankees win. And please resign Trent. And it just seems like no win is ever easy. Like, oh my God. Ben Nord, I know he was just rusty. He hasn't pitched since Saturday. But in the end, he came through. So hopefully Jazz is all right. And let's go beat the Blue Jays. We need to win all 3 against the Blue Jays, I believe. We can't go 2 or 3. We need to sweep them. But yeah, hope you guys have a good show and go Yankees.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it is. I would say 2 of 3 would suffice. Do I want to sweep them? Hell yeah, absolutely. And anytime you don't sweep, I'd say taking 2 of 3 in a 3-game set, you're going to be pissed off along the way. But I think once the series is over and you said, okay, well, now the Yankees took care of business at home and we're just 1 game back, that's probably a win. Right? Toronto has to feel like they're in trouble provided that happens. Now, again, the best thing that can happen, you just beat the brakes off Toronto at the stadium, and now you're tied for first place. And I believe Toronto, you said, has the tiebreaker, Jake?
I believe there's no way to overcome that. Yes, they have the season tiebreaker.
Okay, perfect. So you just sort of know, all right, Toronto has the tiebreaker. When you look up on the standings after a Yankee sweep, if it were to happen, then you'd say, all right, Toronto is just, because of the tiebreaker, sitting up top. But they know the season's getting away from us if that happens, which is part of the reason Kyle wants it to happen. I want it to happen. But a lot's got to happen between now and Sunday for it to happen. So it'll be interesting. We're rooting for it. Jake, I know you called a sweep. Yeah, that would be... I know our chat would be losing its mind, and William Downer, again, would have to show up right here and own it. And William, I need to know what your take is as to what's happening in this series. It's all good fun. I need to know what people are thinking about this series, because that's what we're going to do with the comments at the end of the show. We need predictions. What you think's happening in each game. Cam Schlittler, you're seeing Fried, right? You're seeing these guys, some big arms in this series. What are we going to do against Gausman? How does it all shake out? So this is going to be fun.
It really is. Tomorrow is a huge game, man. Because you want to start the season, you want to start the series off right, but also, you're not far back. I mean, you're really right there. And my thing is, tiebreaker, losing that sucks, but it's like I always say, and it comes to fruition, it seems like every single year in the NFL. A tiebreaker only matters when you tie.
This is very true. So just don't tie.
So just don't tie. Like, it's really that simple. I mean, I already said I had them winning 95 games. I would say 93 to 95, to be fair. I think that's kind of where we're at. Okay. But this is based on the body of work that I've seen as of late. That Yankee team will win 93 to 95 games. It will. I had 94 last year. I really would like to see this team win more than last year. I think that would be kind of funny. I think they're a better
nice
team.
Message to send. It would be a nice message to send, but at the same time, the reason people root against it is just because people will say, see, we're a better team in the way we do things works. But you need to have good habits against contenders to go beat those same contenders in October. You don't get to just beat up on bad teams and then show up in October and say, whoops, I guess the crapshoot didn't work. That's what people are so fired up about. But William says we're going to lose 2 of 3 in this series. So, interesting.
No.
Do we have any? Yeah, I don't see it. Do we have any more voicemails? Let's go.
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys doing the shows after every game, tuning in all the time. It's great. It's fantastic. But just to get right into it, huge series win. Didn't come in here expecting a sweep, which we could have got, but I'll take 2 of 3, of course, especially with the Toronto series coming up. And now we're 3 games behind them. And if you win that next series, then you fall a game behind them. And that's going to be a huge series. But kind of going back to Houston, you kind of have some bullpen questions. Obviously, Bednar is going to be a little iffy because he hasn't pitched in a while. And Devin Williams going in for 34 pitches, which is kind of crazy. And I don't agree with that. Next series is going to be huge for Cam Schlittler. We'll really see what he can be in this rotation because I truly believe this rotation could be really, really good. And I think this team can be legit if they beat Toronto in the series, and we'll just have to see. I'll be going to 2 of those 3 games, and I'm excited to see if we can pull through. So appreciate you guys doing these shows as always, and can't wait to hear this on the show.
Matt Morg, thank you in the comments. And in whose voice was that?
We appreciate you, mystery man. We do not know.
It had to have been so. Yeah, that is interesting. Maybe was the new diamond level. There was a new diamond level we had. It could have been that, and I think it was.
I mean, this is what I can say. Okay?
Chris 99, hell of a voicemail, by the way.
Hey, well, that was a great voicemail, so we appreciate you. We look at us, all the Infinity Stones. Ha ha! I got your voicemail. Like,
yeah, Chris, thank you for that, man.
We're just collecting voicemails. No, we love it because you guys are forever etched in Yankees Unloaded history, whether you looked at it that way beforehand or not. These episodes don't go away. So you could always track back and be like, I was on Yankees Unloaded before they hit 100,000 or whatever. I mean, it's true though. Like, you could always track back to these, and if you do them consistently, you're on every night. So we like to, try and make the audience a part of our show in case you guys haven't noticed that, which I'm sure you have. We've interacted with you guys plenty of times, and we don't always just, it's not just supers. We also do highlight but the comments have to be, of course, really engaging. We love our community. It's always fun. And what we love so much about the community, at least I don't want to speak for Gary, but I'm sure you probably agree, is that it's not just Yankees. Like, you have the fun parts of it where obviously we have fun talking about the Yankees, but we can veer off talking about freaking seed oils, and people are like, yeah, I hate seed oils. And then, like, the other day, like, Padres Unloaded, and you had everybody in the chat like, oh, and they're watching the Padres. I think it's
virtual.
Cool.
Yeah, we've got virtual in here who's in our comments frequently. Dodgers fan.
What
the hell? Well, first off, it's weird. We've got Marion,
the Marlins fan. Yeah.
Marion, who's obviously the Marlins fan. We feel like some of these folks, they like the Yankees. They don't want to admit it to their family just yet. But Yankees Unloaded is taking them there. It's obviously crazy to see that there's fans of other teams that because I'll tell you right now, I don't care what podcast is going on for the Red Sox or the Blue Jays. I wouldn't be listening to Blue Jays Unloaded. Wouldn't be happening. So we really appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, you guys have been awesome. Comment section's been great. And Joey says we're going to blow right past 100K. We hope so. And we've got a lot in store, especially for the winter meeting. So we'll make all those announcements when we can. We're going to give you guys a ton of coverage this winter, a lot of free agency coverage, a ton of all the trades, prospects, all their development, what they're doing. It's going to be fun. And extra salty, Jake throws it up on the screen and says, be cool if you featured the profile pic of the voicemail caller. My mom literally was just talking about this.
It would be
just
so
talking about
cool.
this.
It's just the way we have to do it. We have to do it in a way that doesn't dox it. Honestly, we use Google Voice. You guys probably know that have left voicemails because I think it tells you this is welcome to Google Voice. But my issue is that they do this like suggestions tab. So that's why I even brought up the screen because we don't want to dox you guys. So it's like I wish there was an integration that we could have with StreamYard's always coming out with new stuff, and we appreciate that. But it feels like this isn't like anything new.
Yeah,
I mean, voicemails have been around for a while, so it would be cool to see if we can do something like that. But really, we're just not trying to run the risk of ever doxing anybody's. There's a lot of weirdos on the internet, so we're not trying to.
Oh boy, are there?
So we're not trying to dox your numbers or anything like that.
I did see this in the comment section, just scanning, and says, we're going to my daughter's wedding this weekend. Congratulations. That'll be fun. We'll be distracted in a good way. So, yeah.
Love that.
Tell her we said congratulations. Should be fun.
But
yeah, we technically could. What we can do also, what we'll do, I think, long term, is we can just find a way somehow to have a picture with the name. It's a whole hoopla that we'll definitely try and figure out the logistics of it. But StreamYard doesn't make it as simple as like a PowerPoint presentation where you can just slide it and put things where you want it. So we'll work on it, hopefully get pictures, names. When we do the voicemails, all that stuff will pop up. I know on the radio, they'll throw like a name, your first name up there. We'll try and get something that has an indication. So again, Chris99, appreciate the voicemail and obviously the diamond level. So congrats to your daughter.
No, that's awesome. We're happy for you, and I think that's everything. I don't know yet what I am going to be wearing to the game on Saturday. Not really a jersey guy anymore for whatever reason. So I don't know.
You're not going to wear the Freddy Krueger Nikes?
Dude, I should have worn this because who the hell is going to wear this at Yankee Stadium? I'd be easy to spot. And I know people
I could see you from the upper deck in that shirt.
Dude, can you imagine like a fly ball over the wall and I catch it and you just see like some dude with a Freddy Krueger? You're like,
I feel like everyone just sort of wears the same thing to Yankee Stadium. They wear like a gray hoodie underneath their jersey. Right? Like they kind of just wear the same thing every time.
Yeah. No, it is funny. It definitely. Because I see people saying, yeah, just wear the Freddy sweater. I don't know.
He'll think about it. Obviously, I mean, you only have a couple days. That requires Jake to do laundry again. So that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. No, so yeah, I don't know. I had a what was that? I had a Yankee sweatshirt coming in, like an old school one, the old school logo from Homage, and I'm still waiting for that to come in. So I don't know if that'll come in time. I would wear that if it does come in time, but I have no idea. So
you could speed order a Yankees Unloaded T-shirt from YouTube. It'll be made of plastic and cardboard, but And again, guys, we're working on the merch. Do not order any of that garbage. I don't know what they're offering. They're not nice t-shirts. What we're going to give you guys is quality. We're doing hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, and we'll straggle elsewhere down the road, obviously via request. But those are going to be the main things. High quality sweatshirt that actually is comfortable that you would want to wear. And Sakuna with the 2, thank you, says Cruz is a dog. Love him. He's got emotion every single time. Every time he pitches. And you have to love that. I love it. And there's, especially with the Yankees, it's always felt like an uptight organization, but the outliers that show emotion, we tend to love those guys. Unless they don't perform, obviously, then we hate them. But when you're performing and you've got that dog, easy guy to root for. So that's why I'm Cruz is the first guy I want out the bullpen, and he's the last guy I want touching the ball. Him and Bednar, really, the 2 dogs.
Yeah, I love Cruz Missile. I think he's awesome. And, he's absolutely a dog. I'm still kind of hung up on the Freddy Krueger thing. I'm not going to lie.
So you're thinking about doing another load of laundry and just setting it off. And I was joking, by the way, about the Freddy Krueger Nikes. I don't know if you've seen it. Those are like $20,000 tennis shoes.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
If you spend $20,000 on a pair of tennis shoes, that's Shutter Island levels of delusion. You are out.
Wait, hold on. What do they look like?
They look just like your T-shirt.
All right, Freddy Krueger. What are they? Just Nikes?
They're Nikes. They're probably $14,000 right now.
Dude,
total
what?
ripoff. Yes, I swear to you.
Oh, I mean, I'm seeing them for $22,000 on
$22,000. Yeah. If you spend $22,000 on a pair of shoes, I don't care how much money you make.
Dude, they look awesome though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh boy.
I'm not getting them. I could get. Well, these ones look good, and oh yeah, those are. Dude, they're 120.
120 what?
$120.
Yeah, those aren't the real ones though. That's the thing. They're the real Freddy Krueger Nikes are the ones that are $20,000. They're obviously limited edition. They're cool. They're not cool enough to be $22,000. For $22,000, my shoes better walk for me. Like I'm segwaying across the stadium and they're going to get me food. The $22,000 is insane. You're just throwing away money at that point. So yeah, it seems like we've talked Jake into this Freddy Krueger shirt to go walk around Yankee Stadium. You're going to be an easy find.
Sounds like I got to wire my whole bank account to go and get those Freddy Krueger and then have them shipped overnight so I have them at the stadium for Saturday.
The closest I'll get is probably like some off-white Nikes. Those are like 20. I mean, they're blue and orange. They're pretty cool. They're about anywhere from, they're probably about $2,000. $2,000 is still a ripoff, but come on now.
Sell a kidney, get a Freddy Krueger shoe.
I show up to Yankee Stadium. We do our event next year. People see you have a scar from your kidney transplant. Gave it away for a pair of shoes that he's too scared to wear. You'd be jumped out front. First off, if you wore those shoes to Yankee Stadium, you walking through the Bronx, someone would take those right away. Way gone.
Oh, yeah.
Way gone. And Sakuna just became a Yankees Unloaded member.
Hey,
welcome
appreciate
aboard.
You. Second deck.
Appreciate you.
That's
welcome
where
in.
Austin Wells is going to hit one tomorrow on his, what is it? His Jersey Day. I'm about to put some money down so I can afford these Freddy Kruegers. Austin Wells and Aaron Judge going yard twice. Let's go. Let's go. We got it. Austin Wells will play, by the way. I do think he ends up playing.
Really?
Yeah.
God, this just doesn't make sense to me.
He has a better batting average than Ben Rice against him.
Okay.
So
I guess I track it.
So yeah, I mean, he's got like a 700 something OPS, and he's got I think a home run or two, and Ben Rice had like a 540 OPS or something like that. Actually, why am I saying? Oh yeah, he had like that. I have it right here.
Yet exactly that.
Yeah, Austin Wells 703. No home runs. So tomorrow will be the first time he hits a home run off Gausman.
Okay.
And Ben Rice 571 OPS. So And a 0 batting average.
So Austin Wells, home run, bullpen, do your job. And
Aaron
if you haven't
Judge, 2
subscribed-
home runs.
Oh, so you have high hopes for Aaron Judge. It's great.
Yeah.
We want people to drop in the comments what you think of this series. What are the Yankees going to do? 2 of 3? That's probably plenty. That's in my estimation. If I get 2 of 3, I'm happy. If you lose the series, yeah, I'm pissed off. We should be. And there are quite a few people who think we're just going to take one game. I would agree, though, in the comments, for a lot of the downers in the comments, not trying to convince you guys of otherwise. What happens with Cam Schlittler in game 1 is going to dictate the feeling of this series. If Cam Schlittler dominates game 1, it pretty much is going to set the tone. It sounds weird, but because you've got your ace behind him, right? You've got some vets behind him, but the way he sets the tone is going to change how we feel about game 2 and 3. The whole feel of the series is going to be different. And D's channel says, I need to know how many black tees does Gary own. I feel like I'm always watching the same recap with Gary's black tee on. Okay, guys, just a quick recap here. If you saw my closet, I've got hundreds of items, hundreds. Probably 35 of those items are a big bundle of black tees, 32 degrees from Costco. My wife looked at me like I had 3 heads, but I walked up to the thing and said, let me just grab 3 packs of these. And she's like, what do you need 30 black tees for? I said, because then I never have to wash them. And they're all just hung in order. So when you guys see me up here, I grab a fresh t-shirt and pop it off, and I throw that thing on. And as soon as I get off of here, I throw that thing in the laundry, go to bed, and I pop a new one off the next day. I've got black tees
For days.
for all of our diamond level members. You get a free black tee when you show up to Yankee Stadium. I'll have black tees for all of you.
That's so funny. Autographed?
Autographed black tees. I've got so many of them that I don't even know if I even had money. Like,
Welkin
it is a
knew
Costco
it.
shirt.
Welkin knew it right away.
I don't care how much money I have. These black tees are never going away.
The black tee is all reliable.
It is.
That's like my chain. I don't think I ever don't have my chain on. I even have it on when you can't see it. Like when I'm wearing like a suit, I still have it on. I don't know. I like the chain.
That's fair.
Yeah. It used to be both, and it complemented each other well because you used to rock a chain too.
Yep, sold it. Sold that bad boy. Way gone.
You left the chain gang. No, I'm not going to call it that.
That's awesome. Well, Cam Schlittler's on the mound tomorrow, guys. This right here, this start is the first start. I know he's had some big starts. Great. Good for him. This one is the one. If you want to know what Cam Schlittler's made of, let's see. He's been a dog. He's scary to look at, and I don't mean in a bad way. He's a scary person when he's in that zone on the mound. We need it. And Joey says got to be the next giveaway at 20K. No, we got to do something better than that. A t-shirt? Okay.
Yeah.
If we're giving you guys a t-shirt,
do you want to do 20K or 25K? We're not like announcing it right now, but
I think 20K makes the most sense. Just every 10, right?
Okay.
I feel like it makes sense. Unless we're growing at such a rapid rate. It's going to be an insane giveaway at 100,000. I don't know what we're going to do, but the 100,000 giveaway.
I don't think I've ever seen this. I just. Oh, Chacho, appreciate you.
I think I've seen Chacho on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
You've probably seen Chacho a million times. Chacho is on all of my stuff, so appreciate Chacho. Cowboys fan, so that game probably hurt. But
I'd
also
say
Yankee
100K
fan.
will be. Yeah, I would say 100,000 subscribers will definitely give away what should be Yankees playoff tickets.
A round of golf with yours truly.
Yeah, that would. I mean, it'd be fun, but I think it needs to be something grand. It wouldn't be the Freddy Krueger shoes, no, but Yankees playoff tickets. You get 2 tickets. I mean, that's like a $700 value, probably, maybe even more.
Look at
it'll play.
Alex is like, nope, Freddy Krueger Nikes.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger Nike's my behind.
Standing on business there.
All right, yeah. So anyways, drop in the comment section what you guys think is happening in this series. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to like this video.
And put just Freddy Krueger in there if
Oh,
you
wow.
if if you like the sweater, throw Freddy Krueger in the comment section.
Cool.
Peace.